Celestial Immortal Clan. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 251, Setting Up a Household. Father finally came to his senses and said, "It doesn't have to be too far, just about 100 feet next to our yard. If we have a grandson in the future, we can help take care of him," Aunt said with a smile. "Look, my eldest brother has thought about the grandson. Maybe when he rests at night, he will start thinking about what his grandson's name will be." Everyone couldn't help laughing when they heard it. Lin Changqing thought for a while and said, "Yes, it's good to be nearby. It's convenient for us to come back and eat the spiritual food made by Mother." This time everyone laughed even more. When Mother heard Lin Changqing say this, she was very happy and relieved, proving that her son would not forget his mother after marrying a Taoist partner. The matter was settled. At that time, my father would come forward to find the third elder of the General Affairs Hall. Entrust them to find a suitable place nearby to build a yard for Lin Changqing. They have this business and are quite professional. After the decision was made, grandfather told everyone not to tell anyone about this matter before it was completely settled, and then called Lin Changqing out. The grandfather and grandson came to the secret room of the grandfather's house. As soon as they sat down, Lin Changqing couldn't help but ask, "Grandpa, why didn't my second uncle come back? Where did he go?" Grandpa chuckled and said, "Didn't you come up with a strategy of a cunning rabbit with 3 burrows? Can't you guess what he is going to do? Including your 14th uncle Lin Changqing, after his injury is healed, he will also lead some suitable clansmen to carry out this task. Most of the foundation building fruits you gave were given to these 2 groups of people, so their strength will not be weak, you can rest assured. Of course, their specific location cannot be told to you. When there is a chance in the future, you will naturally see your second uncle and his people again. Don't ask them now." After listening, Lin Changqing could only nod his head to show that he understood. Next, it was the grandfather who asked Lin Changqing to tell him about this mission and what happened on the way. Of course, it was only the part that could be told. Lin Changqing understood that not telling the secret to the family was the greatest protection for them. Of course, he knew that the grandfather mainly wanted to know how deep his relationship with Chen Zai was, so he told the grandfather everything he could about the 2 of them. After listening to Lin Changqing's description, Grandpa nodded and kept thinking about something. Finally, after looking at Lin Changqing, he said, "You mentioned today about opening a shop in Qinghai Market. After discussing it, we think it can be done. However, the clan leader and I do not agree that you can manage this shop." Lin Changqing opened his eyes in disbelief and asked in surprise, "Why don't you agree that I can manage that shop? This is to cross the river and destroy the bridge." Grandpa glared at him and said, "Don't talk nonsense. There are several reasons for not letting you go. First of all, no matter what, you are just a 17 or 18-year-old key refining cultivator, and Qinghai Market is very far away from Jiufeng Mountain. If something happens, it will be out of reach. Secondly, there are also several clansmen in the clan who are responsible for running shops. It is unreasonable to completely abandon them and let you manage a new shop. Of course, if you really let you go, they will think that the family does not recognize their previous achievements, which is also a denial of them. Once again, the clan leader and I both believe that it is more important to let you stay in the ancestral mountain to practice with peace of mind than to let you go out and earn thousands or tens of thousands of spirit stones for the family every year. Finally, you and Zia are already in love with each other, and I think you shouldn't be together so often. At least before you officially become Taoist couples, it's better to keep a little distance." After listening to what his grandfather said, Lin Changqing already knew that he could not go. But he still couldn't help asking, "Who will be sent to manage the shop?" Grandpa pondered for a moment before saying, "It has not been decided who will manage the shop. We will know after a while. Besides, this matter is urgent now. The main focus of the family should be on dealing with the attack on your 14th uncle. Someone has to pay the price." Lin Changqing nodded and said, "I can choose not to compete for the management of this shop, but you must take me with you next time you go to Qinghai Market." Grandpa frowned and said, "What do you want to take you with you for? I promised Chen Zai that I would become the shopkeeper of the market shop, but now this can't be done. Then I must explain it to her in person, otherwise I'm afraid she will think too much." Lin Changqing solved it. Grandpa nodded and said nothing more. which was regarded as tacit agreement with Lin Changqing's request. Lin Changqing took out a jade box from the storage bag and handed it to Grandpa. After Grandpa took it and opened it, he introduced, "Grandpa, the 3 jade slips inside are all the harvest this time. The most important ones, Heavy Water Control Wave Sutra and Fire Phoenix Nirvana Sutra, are both heavenly level skills, which can be cultivated to the highest level of the great perfection of the spiritual transformation. The other one is a set of inheritance from a 3rd level spiritual plant master, which can reach the 3rd level late stage at most. Grandpa will definitely like it." "What did you say?" Grandpa was stunned, and then reacted. He immediately took one of the jade slips and read it directly against his forehead. After waiting for a while, he changed it and continued to read the other jade slip. Grandpa read it carefully and it took more than an hour. After reading all 3 jade slips, Grandpa suppressed his excitement and asked, "These 2 techniques and the 3rd level spiritual plant master's inheritance are too important. How are you going to arrange them?" Lin Changqing had thought about it long ago, and said directly to his grandfather, "The practice of Heavy Water Wave Control Sutra requires heavy water of various levels. The 1st and 2nd levels are okay, but it's too hard to find after the 3rd level. So I think it's better to keep it at home. After all, this technique consumes too many resources, and ordinary cultivators can't afford it. Fire Phoenix Nirvana Sutra has relatively high requirements for fire spiritual roots. You can copy the previous key refining period and foundation establishment period techniques, change the name, and put it in the family scripture pavilion. If someone really practices this technique in the future, as long as the person has no problems, Grandpa will come forward and give him the subsequent techniques little by little. Needless to say, the spiritual plant master's inheritance must be copied and placed in the family scripture pavilion. Grandpa and Aunt will definitely use this thing." After that, he took out another storage bag and handed it to Grandpa, then continued, "Inside is the important resource heavy water needed to practice the Heavy Water U-Wave Sutra. There are more 1st and 2nd order heavy water, and only a small amount of 3rd order heavy water, but it is completely sufficient for one person to practice. I think the Heavy Water U-Wave Sutra will be given to my mother to practice, and the Fire Phoenix Nirvana Sutra will be given to Lin Changqing to practice. She has such a good aptitude for fire spirit roots, and practicing this technique will definitely be twice the result with half the effort." Grandpa thought about it for a while, and nodded, "It is indeed most appropriate to let them practice, so let me give it to them." Lin Changqing laughed and nodded, "Yes, that's what I mean. In this way, we only need to go to Wanbao Pavilion to buy the Golden Earth Attribute techniques, then the problem of our family's techniques will be solved." Grandpa nodded and said, "After your father and your 2nd uncle completed the foundation building, we went to Wanbao Pavilion together to choose the techniques. But they didn't buy all of them at once. Both of them only bought the foundation building technique. When they are almost ready, they will buy the subsequent ones. This way, they don't have to take out so many spirit stones at once. The pressure will not be so great, so father and 2nd uncle have already exchanged the skills." "That's great. How did they buy them? Is it a one-time purchase, or can it be passed down within the family?" Grandpa glared at him and said unhappily, "Of course it's a one-time purchase. The price of a one-time purchase that can be passed down forever is 10 times that of a one-time purchase, and some high-level ones are even more than that. Only when you have so many spirit stones that you burn your hands will you spend so much." Chapter 252, Keeping Warm Together. Lin Changqing laughed dryly twice, and suddenly remembered something. He took out a relatively large jade box from the storage bag and handed it to his grandfather. "Grandpa, there are 48 red fruits in it. You can use them yourself or exchange them for spiritual stones. You can also support my father or 2nd uncle with some. You should not need to give me spiritual stones in the future. I have enough for myself." Grandpa nodded, thought for a while, and said, "When you have no spiritual stones, tell me again, Grandpa, how is your practice of the Thunder Sutra?" "I have opened up 14 Thunder acupoints, and after opening the 12th acupoint, my strength and the toughness of my body have been greatly enhanced. I can hold up a stone of 1,500 to 1,600 kilograms. Now I should be considered to have entered the stage of physical training." After listening to Lin Changqing's words, Grandpa nodded and said, "It turns out that after opening up the 12th acupoint, you can reach the stage of physical training. Then I have to do it as soon as possible. Now I have opened up 9, and it is estimated that in about half a year, I should be able to open 12. By then, It will be considered an extra trump card. Lin Changqing continued, it is estimated that when 36 acupoints are opened, it should be equivalent to the first level body refining. After all 365 acupoints are opened, I wonder if it will condense the qi and blood elixir. Grandpa sighed and said, the Lin family's foundation is still too shallow, and the knowledge of body refining is even less. We can only take one step at a time. If it really doesn't work, then ask your great-grandmother for help. Lin Changqing nodded. This was the last resort. In fact, the Lin family rarely asked the great-grandmother for help, unless it was a particularly big thing that they couldn't solve. Just like this beast tide, it obviously concerns the safety of dozens of Lin family members. These people are the backbone of the Lin family, and it is impossible for all of them to be lost in the beast tide. So the clan leader and grandfather asked the great-grandmother to come forward and help the Lin family make appropriate arrangements. At this time, the grandfather continued, practice with peace of mind. The family that attacked Maoxiang this time should be found out soon. At that time, it depends on how the clan leader arranges it. But it is estimated that a fierce battle is inevitable. If you really want to participate, you must be careful at that time. After hearing this, Lin Changqing was refreshed and asked quickly, Grandpa, has there been any clues? Although it has not been finally confirmed, I think it is almost certain. Excluding allies and families that are unlikely to take action, there are only a few families that have conflicts of interest with the Lin family. Among them, the Li family of Yuntang County, the Zhao family of Yuncheng County, and the Li family of Yunnan County are all families that have suffered serious damage in this beast tide. Especially the Li family, the two foundation-building cultivators who led the team, and more than 80 key refining clansmen died in the battle, and only a dozen key refining clansmen returned, and I heard that they were all injured. It can be said that there were heavy casualties. The family's power has shrunk by 5 or 6 levels, and it is no longer able to maintain most of the interests outside Yunnan County. And the Lin family's losses this time are not great. With a rise and fall of one, it is very likely that the Lin family will come to accept these resources, so it is very likely that they will launch a sneak attack without being willing. Of course, the losses of the Li and Zhao families were relatively small, but it was also heard that both had foundation-building cultivators who died, and ordinary key training period clansmen also suffered a lot of losses. So the possibility of their actions cannot be ruled out, and even the joint actions of 2 or 3 families are possible. In this case, it is normal for several families to keep each other warm, and first take action to eliminate some of the core members of the family who are too powerful, especially to kill the other party's foundation-building cultivators, in order to minimize the survival pressure of the other party. After listening to his grandfather's words, Lin Changqing knew that the biggest suspects of this sneak attack were the Li family, and the Zhao family. These are all forces that are close to the Lin family. There are 36 counties in Pingyang Prefecture and 13 foundation-building families. The few control 2 or 3 counties, and the most have 3 or 4. For example, the Lin family controls 3 counties, but everyone still has a tacit understanding, with constant small conflicts and no major conflicts. But this beast tide obviously broke this balance. I know, Grandpa, I was ready on the way back, and even prepared for the family to be besieged. I also prepared 40 pieces of Xianlizi and Yinlizi, such one-time high-powered magic weapons, as well as a batch of Hulingdan, Huchundan, Yuhudan, and other elixirs. Grandpa was overjoyed when he heard it, and asked quickly, Kinger, have you really prepared 40 pieces of Xianlizi and Yinlizi? That's great. You go to the General Affairs Hall tomorrow and exchange them for the family, just in time for the clan members to use. Now many clan members have already prepared in secret. These things can give them some confidence. Okay, I'll send the things to the General Affairs Hall tomorrow, Lin Changqing said seriously. I couldn't help but continue to ask, then will Aunt need to participate in the action at that time? Grandpa thought for a while before speaking, probably not. The clan leader will probably leave her in Jiufeng Mountain to guard the core of the Zhuquiyun formation to prevent others from luring the tiger away from the mountain. Lin Changqing was relieved when he heard the news. He knew that his aunt was not very good at fighting, and if she had to participate, Lin Changqing would have to get closer to protect her. After everything was almost discussed, Lin Changqing came out of his grandfather's house and went straight back to his room. After making himself a pot of green jade tea, Lin Changqing fell into deep thought. This time the clan leader and grandfather disagreed, and Lin Changqing went to Qinghai Market to manage the shop, which was really beyond his expectations. Originally, he thought that he had persuaded the clan leader and grandfather that day, but he didn't expect that there were so many factors that he had not considered. This disrupted all his plans, which meant that everything had to be rearranged. Of course, the most important thing was how to explain to Chen Ziya. If she knew the news, she would definitely be very sad. Now Lin Changqing was really having a headache. Even with the help of the refreshing effect of green jade tea, he couldn't think of a way to have the best of both worlds. Finally, he couldn't think of a solution, so he decided to delay it and think about how to solve it after the family crisis was over. Maybe there would be some new situations by then, and who knows. Seeing that the time was almost up, after completing the practice of the Thunder Sutra, he laid down to rest. Early the next morning, after Lin Changqing completed the practice of the 5 Elements Chaos Sutra, he checked the situation of the 10 purple crystal scorpions in the spirit beast bracelet and found that all of them were still in a sleeping state. It had been 7 days, and there was still no movement. Lin Changqing couldn't help it and took one out to study. He found that the purple crystal scorpion in his hand felt strange to Lin Changqing. After careful study, he found that it was actually shedding its shell. No wonder it felt empty. He didn't know how long this process would take to complete. Lin Changqing didn't dare to touch it anymore and quickly put it back into the spirit beast bracelet. He was a little worried that his rash actions just now would interrupt its degeneration process, and secretly blamed himself for being impatient and why he touched it. Finally, he shook his head and decided to ignore it for the time being. He threw a soul-nurturing pill into the space where the soul beast bracelet furball was. Seeing that furball was still sleeping, he ignored it. He flew directly to Aoyan Peak. He was not worried about Chuai and Shure, but he wanted to go and see the remaining amethyst scorpions, and feed them some monster meat and leave a few soul crystals for them to chew. Chuai and Shure did not come to greet him this time. Lin Changqing knew that they must have gone out to find food early in the morning. He landed directly on the territory of the amethyst scorpions. With a thought, he summoned all the amethyst scorpions and took out the shredded monster meat that he had prepared in advance and scattered it around for them to eat. After they stopped eating, he scattered another portion of ice crystal and a portion of ginger crystal to see which one they liked. Unexpectedly, the little guys were not picky eaters at all. They all followed the principle of proximity and chewed the nearest soul crystals. This disappointed Lin Changqing a little. He thought that the amethyst scorpions would like ginger crystals more. Chapter 253 Return to Calmness. Then he ignored the amethyst scorpion and went straight to the spiritual field. There were still 18 acres of spiritual fields here. As before, 8 acres were planted with spiritual rice, and 10 acres were planted with spiritual medicine. The same things were planted as before. Auntie came to take care of them when she was free. Yesterday, Auntie had already explained to him the basic situation here. From now on, the 18 acres of spiritual fields would be returned to him to take care of. Lin Changqing began to work in the 10 acres of spiritual medicine fields. After more than a year of wandering outside, he hadn't worked in the spiritual fields for a long time. Fortunately, these tasks were the basic operations of spiritual plant masters, and they would never forget them. After 2 hours, he basically completed the tasks in the medicine field and returned to the small courtyard next to it. Just now, when he was working, Chuai, Shure, and Shure had already returned and were now staying in their own nests. Lin Changqing just happened to feed them some monster meat and nurturing spirit pills. After doing all this, there was nothing to do in Aoyan Peak today, and then Lin Changqing flew directly to the General Affairs Hall. Lin Changqing had chosen this time to come here specifically, because he knew that there wouldn't be too many people at this time. After greeting the uncles and aunts present, he lined up behind them. When it was Lin Changqing's turn, there were basically no people here. Taking advantage of this gap, he was ready to quickly exchange all the things for family contribution points. Hello, third grandpa. I have some things I want to exchange for the family. Lin Changqing got straight to the point. Xiao Kinger is back. Take out whatever you have and let me see. I'll help you convert it into contribution points, third grandpa chuckled. Lin Changqing nodded and said, okay, thank you third grandpa. After that, he began to take things out of the storage bag, 20 pieces of Cheyenne Lizi, 20 pieces of Yin Lizhu, 50 bottles of Hulingden, 50 bottles of Huchundan, and 20 bottles of Yulia Auden. All of a sudden, the entire table was filled with them. Third grandpa was a little stunned, but fortunately, He reacted quickly. He immediately began to count the things on the table, especially the 40 powerful disposable magic weapons. After counting them, he immediately put them into the storage bag on his waist, as if he was afraid that Lin Changqing would go back. Then there were various elixirs. The third grandfather was happier and happier. He looked at Lin Changqing. He also appreciated Lin Changqing more and more. It was obvious that Lin Changqing came back this time to bring the spiritual objects needed by the family and to support the family. It took a while to finally count them all. After pondering for a while, the third grandfather said, Xiaoqinger is thoughtful. These things are spiritual objects that the family urgently needs, and they are all worth 46,000 spiritual stones. According to the regulations of the General Affairs Hall, the family contribution points should be calculated according to 80% of the value of the spiritual objects. This is to prevent the clan members from taking advantage of the price difference to trade the family contribution points. But the third grandfather knows that you don't mean this. So this time I will calculate the full amount for you as contribution points. According to the calculation that one family contribution point is equal to one spiritual stone, a total of 46,000 family contribution points. Transfer it to your identity jade card. You give me the identity jade card. Lin Changqing shook his head repeatedly after hearing this, and said, no need, third grandfather, just calculate the family contribution points according to 80%. There are indeed some spiritual objects in it, which I bought specifically from Wanbao Pavilion, thinking that the family should need it. But there is also a part of it, which is my own spoils of war. I can't use so much by myself, so I exchanged it for the family. I didn't spend a single spiritual stone on this part of the spiritual objects, so I'll calculate it according to 80%. After hearing what Lin Changqing said, the third grandfather also shook his head and said, I'm just old, not confused, I know it very well. People like you who are obviously thinking about the family, I can't let you down. So there's no need to argue, let's compromise and calculate the family contribution points based on 90%. Knowing that the third grandfather had made up his mind, Lin Changqing couldn't say anything else, so he could only nod and handed over the identity jade card honestly. After the third grandfather took it, he put 41,400 contribution points on it. With the contribution points on the identity jade card, Lin Changqing now has 42,000 contribution points. Since Lin Changqing entered the Jiang secret realm, he has seized a lot of various elixirs. This time, taking this opportunity, he collected 30 bottles of several common elixirs and 10 bottles of jade therapy pills, and dealt with some of the elixirs for the family. This is also considered to be making the best use of them. Anyway, Lin Changqing can't use them in the inner space. Now there are hundreds of bottles of key-gathering pills in his storage bag, but they are all of medium and low quality, and he will definitely not use them anyway. He originally wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to take them out and exchange them for the family, but seeing the state of his third grandfather, he is embarrassed to take them out now. After putting away his identity jade card, Lin Changqing said goodbye to his third grandfather and then left the General Affairs Hall. Returning to the practice room at home, he began to practice various spells and magical powers. Now that Lin Changqing has returned to Jiufeng Mountain, he still has to resume his previous habits. After more than 2 hours, Lin Changqing completed the scheduled practice of various spells and magical powers, and the harvest this time was not small. It feels that there is a spell that Lin Changqing likes very much, and it should be broken through soon, and he is in a very happy mood. After leaving the practice room, he happened to see his sister Lin Changqing, who was training the little tiger girl in the yard. Lin Changqing was a little surprised. Why was she still at home at this time today? So he couldn't help asking, Changling, why didn't you go out to play today? Or you could go play with your 12th sister, they all have to practice or learn the 100 arts of cultivation. Sister Changlian has to retreat to the 6th level of key refining these 2 days, and she has no time to play with me. So I can only come to train my tiger girl, Lin Changling said helplessly. Lin Changqing's heart moved, and he hurriedly asked, your fire spirit root aptitude is so good, it's most suitable for you to learn alchemy. Did you learn it? The younger sister shook her head and said, no, the clan leader said that I just need to concentrate on practicing, and don't need to be distracted to learn any alchemy or refining techniques. After listening to what his younger sister said, Lin Changqing also understood how much the clan leader expected of Lin Changling. He should hope that Lin Changling can concentrate on practicing, work hard to improve her cultivation, and become the Dinghaishanshun of the Lin family like him in the future. protecting the whole clan. But Lin Changqing felt that it was a bit too cruel to put this heavy burden on his younger sister Lin Changqing. The Lin family belongs to everyone. Everyone should take their own responsibilities. Just because the younger sister is talented, she should not be asked to bear the burden of protecting the entire family alone. This is too heavy for her, and it may crush her, and even cause some bad changes in her heart. However, he knew that no matter what he said now, he could not change the decision of the clan leader, so he put this idea in his heart first, and he would pay attention to Lin Changqing frequently. If she is under too much pressure, Lin Changqing can only reveal his strength to her appropriately, but he can't crush his most beloved sister. There is another problem. He was originally planning to learn alchemy after building the foundation, but now because of Lin Changqing, he has already completed the great perfection of key refining, and he can build the foundation in a year or two. And now he has more time, so he decided to start learning alchemy. Of course, if he can get a subordinate who can make alchemy, it would be perfect, but unfortunately he has not found a suitable one yet. Then he had to learn alchemy by himself, otherwise the spiritual medicines in the inner space would be moldy. Moreover, learning to make alchemy can also consume some of the spiritual medicine stored in the space. Since I want to learn alchemy, I have to go to 6th Grandpa. With his appreciation for Lin Changqing, he should not refuse. After thinking about it, I made up my mind to go to the Spiritual Pill Pavilion tomorrow to learn alchemy from 6th Grandpa Lin Fangxuan. Chapter 254, Learning Alchemy. The next morning, Lin Changqing completed the basic training task. Today, he was going to the Lingdon Pavilion to learn alchemy from 6th Grandpa, but he couldn't go empty-handed, so Lin Changqing activated the small 5-element maze array and entered the inner space. He immediately notified Zhao Yuli to prepare 2 boxes of green jade tea for him through the golden runes in the Sea of Consciousness. Then the deer came over, crawling yo-yo, non-stop. Lin Changqing quickly took out the Yulang pail and fed them all. They were all Lin Changqing's darlings, and he couldn't neglect them. Then he stroked their fur and was busy for a while before letting them play by themselves. Lu Xiaoling and Lu Xiaoman wanted to stay and play with him, but they were driven away by Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing returned to the yard, the room dedicated to the spoils, and found the alchemy cauldron and the pseudo-second-level alchemy inheritance, and put them together in the storage bag. Then he patrolled the space again, and when he returned to the yard again, Zhao Linai was already waiting there. After greeting Lin Changqing, he handed over 3 jade boxes, 2 small and 1 large, to Lin Changqing respectfully. He introduced, "Master, the 2 small jade boxes contain Qingyu tea, and the large jade box contains the longgong fruit and lingtao that you planted yourself. I selected some of them and put the best ones in them." Lin Changqing chuckled and said, "You are thoughtful. Su Miniang is still in seclusion to build her foundation. You have to take care of the space more," Zhao Linai said quickly. "I know, please rest assured, Master." After chatting with Zhao Linai for a few more words, Lin Changqing exited the inner space after confirming that there was no problem with this space. He returned to his room, checked that there was no problem, and went out first to his grandfather's yard, just in time to meet his grandfather who was about to go out. Lin Changqing hurriedly shouted, "Grandpa, where are you going? If you're not in a hurry, I have something to discuss with you." Grandpa saw Lin Changqing and said happily, "Zio Kinger is here. I'm just about to go to the Beikao garden to take a look. Your aunt has been taking care of it recently. I plan to go and see how the spiritual medicines and plants are doing today." "What's the matter with you coming here today?" Lin Changqing pulled his grandfather back to the yard, then organized his words a little and said, "Grandpa, I want to learn alchemy from 6th Grandpa." Grandpa Lin Fandao frowned after hearing what Lin Changqing said, and then asked, "Why don't you wait until you have established your foundation before learning? Now you have so many things to practice, and spiritual fields to take care of. Where do you have the energy to learn alchemy?" Lin Changqing shook his head and said, "Grandpa, I only learn alchemy when I need it. Don't worry, it will never affect my foundation building," Lin Changqing said confidently. After hearing what Lin Changqing said, Lin Fandao's heart moved, and then he thought of something, and he understood a little bit, so he said to Lin Changqing, "Okay, if you think it's necessary, go and learn it." "I agree," Lin Changqing said happily. "Thank you, Grandpa. I promise it won't affect your practice. This is the spiritual tea prepared for you." After that, he took out a box of green jade tea prepared by Zhao Linai from the storage bag and handed it to Grandpa respectfully. After Grandpa accepted the jade box, the two went out together, But Grandpa went to Bakao Garden, while Lin Changqing flew directly to the Lingdon Pavilion. When he arrived at the door of the Lingdon Pavilion, he happened to see Lin Changqing, the second in the Chang generation. Lin Changqing hurriedly greeted him. "Second brother, are you here to make pills today?" Lin Changqing heard someone calling him, turned around and saw that it was Lin Changqing. He smiled and greeted him, and joked, "Ninth brother, are you here to find second brother to make pills today? Second brother will give you a 50% discount." "Second brother, what level are you in making pills now?" Lin Changqing asked curiously. "What? Ninth brother, don't you trust your second brother's craftsmanship?" Lin Changqing said jokingly. No, I'm not here to find someone to make pills today. I have something to ask sixth grandpa," Lin Changqing hurriedly explained. Lin Changqing patted Lin Changqing's shoulder with a smile and said, "I know sixth grandpa is there. Let me take you there." "That's great. Thank you, second brother." "Is it difficult to learn to make pills?" Lin Changqing asked a little curiously. Lin Changqing didn't expect Lin Changqing to ask this. After thinking for a while, he said, "Alchemy. It's okay. Learning this requires a little bit of understanding. Memorize the pill formula and the method of refining, and then think more carefully on weekdays. Finally, you need a certain amount of practice. This stage consumes more spiritual medicines. Many people are stuck at this stage, including your second brother, and I am also stuck here." Lin Changqing suddenly realized what Lin Changqing said. With what Lin Changqing said, he felt a little more confident. The main reason was that he had a lot of spiritual medicines and could grow them himself. He would not feel too bad if he failed many times. "Thank you, second brother. I feel more confident now," Lin Changqing thanked Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing suddenly thought of something and asked, "Ninth brother, you are not here to learn alchemy from sixth grandpa, are you?" Lin Changqing touched his nose and said a little embarrassedly, "I am not overestimating my ability and want to try it. I am sorry to make you laugh." Lin Changqing didn't think there was anything wrong with this. Instead, he started to impart his experience and said, "Then you must memorize the recipe and watch sixth grandpa making the elixir a few more times. You should also think about it more when you have nothing to do. You should at least be 40% to 50% sure before you start making the elixir. Otherwise, you will waste a lot of spiritual medicines." These are all spiritual stones. Lin Changqing knew that this was the valuable experience of his second brother, and he thanked him seriously. "Thank you for your guidance, second brother. I will remember it. I will always keep it in mind." Lin Changqing nodded and said nothing more. Then he took him around a few corners and came to a spiritual medicine garden. Lin Changqing cast a few spells on the restriction, and soon, a crack appeared on the restriction, and sixth grandpa walked out. The two of them hurriedly greeted sixth grandpa together. "Hello, sixth grandpa." Lin Fangxun saw Lin Changqing and Lin Changqing, and said with a smile, "What's the matter with you two? Is Zhaoqing coming to me to make pills?" Lin Changqing chuckled and said, "Sixth grandpa, I'm fine. I just happened to meet my ninth brother who came to see you, so I brought him here." At this time, Lin Changqing also said, "Sixth grandpa, I'm not here to find you to make pills this time. I want to come here to learn how to make pills." After hearing what Lin Changqing said, Lin Fangxun was a little surprised, and then said to Lin Changqing, "Xiaoyan, go do your own thing first. There is nothing for you to do here." Lin Changqing agreed, bowed and retreated, and gave Lin Changqing a hard look before leaving. "You are here to learn alchemy. Does your grandfather know? Learning alchemy requires a lot of resources. Have you ever heard of alchemy making 3 generations poor?" Lin Fangxun warned Lin Changqing seriously. "Sixth grandpa, don't worry. I came here because my grandfather agreed. As for the consumption of resources, we also know it in our hearts. We didn't come here on impulse." Lin Changqing quickly explained the situation. Lin Fangxun chuckled and said, "Okay, since you are all ready, I have nothing to say. Then you can learn alchemy from me in the future." "Thank you, sixth grandpa," Lin Changqing said happily. Chapter 255, Orderly Inheritance. Lin Fangxun continued, "But let me be frank. If you want to learn, you must study hard. If you dare to give up halfway, I will punish you." Lin Changqing quickly promised with a serious face, "I promise I won't give up halfway, sixth grandpa, don't worry." Lin Fangxun nodded, then took out 3 books from the storage bag and handed them to Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing quickly took them with both hands respectfully. Seeing his attitude, Lin Fangxun nodded with satisfaction and introduced, These 3 books, the first one is the Introduction to Alchemy. This is the foundation of alchemy, and you must remember and understand it thoroughly. It includes fire control tactics, pill division tactics, pill control tactics, and a series of various spells and tactics required for alchemy. The second book is a catalog of some common spiritual medicines. You should be familiar with this, but I'll give it to you. The spiritual medicine catalogs of spiritual plant masters and alchemists are a little different. If you are interested, go and compare them yourself. The third book is some first-level pill recipes that the Lin family currently has. This part is enough for you to learn and study. When you advance to the first-level intermediate alchemist, come and ask me for the rest. After listening to the introduction of 6th Grandpa, Lin Changqing hurriedly thanked him again. Thank you, 6th Grandpa. Changqing will definitely study hard and live up to 6th Grandpa's expectations. Then he put the 3 books into the storage bag, and by the way, took out the jade box that Zhao Liaoyu had prepared just now, and handed it to 6th Grandpa respectfully. He introduced, 6th Grandpa, this is the 2nd level green jade tea, which has the effect of refreshing the mind. It is a little gift from Changqing. Please taste it. Lin Changqing laughed happily, and then said, this 2nd level green jade tea, I have tasted it several times at your grandfather's place, but unfortunately he refused to share it with me when I asked him for it. This time I finally got it. I will show it to him next time. See if he is still proud. Your 6th grandfather likes this gift very much? Zhao King is thoughtful. Lin Changqing felt helpless after hearing this. He found that his grandfathers were also very boring. They could even take it out to show off. It's good that 6th Grandpa likes it. I just gave my grandfather a box. He also likes this kind of spiritual tea, Lin Changqing said with a smile. That's even better. In the future, I will go to his green jade tea specifically. When he doesn't have it, I will take it out again and see what his expression is. After that, he couldn't help laughing again. Then he said to Lin Changqing, don't tell your grandfather, or I will punish you. Lin Changqing had no choice but to agree. Lin Changqing continued, take the 3 books back and read them carefully, learn the magic formulas and spells carefully, and remember the recipes clearly. When you feel that there is no problem, come to me again. After passing my assessment, you can start to watch me make pills. As for the future, wait until you pass the assessment. Of course, if you don't understand anything, you can come and ask me, or find your second brother Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing quickly agreed, and then was driven away by the 6th grandfather. He returned to the spiritual medicine garden just now. Since the matter of learning to make pills has been decided, Lin Changqing went back, but he didn't go home, but flew directly to Aoyan Peak. Now that he has taken over the spiritual field of Aoyan Peak, he has to go there often to take care of those spiritual medicines. Unexpectedly, as soon as he approached Aoyan Peak, he saw 4 or 5 people gathered in the yard, who were his friends. Lin Changqing was overjoyed and quickly landed in the yard. Then a series of titles came out of his mouth. 5th brother, 6th brother, 10th brother, 12th sister. Why are you all here today? Of course we made an appointment to come here to eat and drink for free. If you have any good things, take them out quickly, 5th brother Lin Changji said jokingly. Yes, that's right. If 9th brother doesn't take out good things to treat us, we will stay here. 10th brother Lin Changhao began to lead the rhythm and make a fuss. Brother, we are here too. Sister and Lin Changlian also gathered around. It's rare to be so lively today, so of course there are good things. Come, everyone, eat spiritual fruits. Then he took out a big box of spiritual fruits that Zhao Liaoyu had just given to Lin Changqing and gave it to Lin Changhao, who was making a fuss. Then the little friends gathered around, just like when they were young. You got one, I got a bunch, and my sister also got a lot. Lin Changqing took out the tea set and made Kingayu tea for everyone. 9th brother, where did you go so early in the morning? We went to your house but couldn't find you. We only met Changling. However, she didn't know where you went. It was Changlian who suggested waiting for you here, and we waited for you. 6th brother Lin Changqing introduced him to the reason why they were here. Lin Changqing said with a smile, I went to Lincoln Pavilion to find 6th grandpa. If I knew you were coming, I would definitely not go out and wait for you at home. The other people held spiritual fruits in their hands and sat in the pavilion to eat. Lin Changqing distributed the brewed spiritual tea to them. Come on, everyone, have tea, Lin Changqing called. After Lin Changji took a sip of tea, his eyes widened, and then he said to Lin Changlian who was eating linglong fruit calmly, 12th sister, 5th brother will help you drink this tea. You should eat more spiritual fruits. As soon as he finished speaking, before she could react, he poured the tea in the teacup in front of her into his own cup and drank it all. Lin Changqing was stunned for a moment, then reacted, screamed, and rushed towards Lin Changqing. Then Lin Changqing ran in front, and Lin Changqing chased after him with her teeth bared. Ah! Lin Changqing! Give me back my Qingyu tea! The others watched them play and laughed so hard that their stomachs hurt. Of course, they did not forget to drink the Qingyu tea in front of them, otherwise, it might fall into Lin Changqing's stomach again. The younger sister sat next to Lin Changqing, eating linglong fruits one by one in her hand, watching everyone playing with Lin Changqing, and she herself couldn't stop laughing. She knew that everyone was trying to make the 12th sister happy. After the 14th uncle was attacked and seriously injured and died, Lin Changqing never came out, and everyone was trying to comfort her in various ways. After they played for a while and came back, Lin Changqing filled their cups with Qingyu tea again. Everyone sat down to chat. 9th brother, is the Qingyu city market fun? Is there anything interesting? 6th brother asked curiously. All the markets are similar. Maybe the market in Qingyu city is bigger, with more various things, and you will naturally meet more cultivators. But when there are more cultivators, all kinds of monsters will naturally emerge. So when living in such a big market, especially when you have to leave the market, you have to be more careful, because you may already be a fat sheep in the eyes of others. Anyway, in Qingyu market, I and an inner disciple of Qingyu sect just bought some things in the market and spent some spirit stones. When we went back, there were 2 or 3 groups of people following us, if we were not going back to Qingyu sect. Those people couldn't help but take action a long time ago. Think about it, as an ordinary cultivator, how can you withstand these robbery cultivators? So don't have too high expectations for the big market. Lin Changqing had to quickly instill some danger awareness in his friends. Otherwise, they would go out and lose their lives like Qi Hanfei, ignorant and confused. Chapter 256 Heartache. Then 9th brother, if Dafeng City is as dangerous as you said, why are there so many people yearning for Dafeng City? 10th brother Lin Changqing asked back. This is a good question. First, whether you are practicing or living in the Dafeng City, as long as you have enough spirit stones, it will be very convenient and comfortable, and you can even speed up your practice. Second, other people are strong, cautious enough, and insist on not showing off their wealth. For example, you went to the gambling stone shop and spent 10,000 spirit stones to buy a piece of raw stone. Then everyone present knows that you must have spirit stones in your storage bag. At least, there is still a piece of raw stone worth 10,000 spirit stones. So in the eyes of others, you are a little cultivator who spends so many spirit stones at a time. If you are not a fat sheep, who is the fat sheep? The last one is not to say that you can't yearn for the Dafeng City, but the premise is that you must have the ability to take root and survive there. Otherwise, it is safer and more comfortable to stay in the family. At least you won't take a wrong step and your life will be gone. Of course, it's not bad to go to the market occasionally, but you must pay attention to safety. It's best to go with a few people. After listening to what Lin Changqing said, several people nodded, and didn't dwell on this issue. Then brother 9, let's find some time in a few days to go to the market together. Since we met those robbers on the way back to the family last time, we haven't been out together for a long time, Lin Changqing continued. When the younger sister heard someone suggest that they go to the market together, she was instantly moved. She quickly said to Lin Changqing, brother, I want to go too, remember to take me with you when the time comes. Lin Changqing was about to tell them that he couldn't go out recently. Others had already said it for him. Brother 10, we can't leave the mountain gate recently. Now the family is loose outside and tight inside, and one move can affect the whole body. The elders will not agree to let us leave Jiufeng mountain. If you don't believe it, go to the mountain gate and try it, brother 5 said. Sister 12 also said to Lin Changqing, brother 10, it is indeed impossible to go out. Let's wait until this matter is over before talking about it. Hearing everyone say this, Lin Changqing also faced the reality and stopped talking about going to the market. On the contrary, it was his younger sister Lin Changqing who was the most disappointed, but there was nothing he could do. He could only find a chance to take her out for a walk in the future. In fact, Lin Changqing could understand their mood. After all, they had always lived in the small world of the clan mountain, and young monks really yearned for the outside world. They always looked forward to going out to try their luck, But they didn't know the dangers outside. Qi's Hanfei was the best example. Then everyone started to drink tea and chat about this and that, and a few hours passed. Lin Changqing had no choice but to go to the spiritual field to work, and could only accumulate today's birth-inducing task to tomorrow. In the evening, everyone left Aoyan Peak together, and after reaching the main peak, they went home separately. Only Lin Changqing walked at the end holding his sister's hand. "Changling, do you really want to go to the market to play?" Lin Changqing took the initiative to bring up this topic. "Well, brother, I have never left Jiufeng Mountain since I was a child. Can you take me to the market to have a look in the future? I also want to taste the beast offal you mentioned. I also want to go to the street stall square and the gambling stone shop. There are so many things I want to play with," Lin Changling said with longing. Lin Changqing felt a pain in his heart. This little girl Lin Changling didn't know the responsibility she would bear. He couldn't help but nodded and touched her head. He decided to talk to the clan leader after this matter was over, and then take his sister to the market to play. As for persuading the clan leader, by then, the 10 purple crystal scorpions should have completed the promotion. He believed that his little darlings had the ability to persuade the clan leader. The two returned home and found that everyone was quite present today. Except for the second uncle who was on a mission, everyone else came. It just so happened that Lin Changqing was going to talk about his plan to learn alchemy. After everyone finished eating the spiritual food, Lin Changqing stood up and said, "I have good news for you all. Sixth Grandpa has agreed to let me learn alchemy from him. When I become an alchemist in the future, you won't have to worry about your elixirs." Except for Grandpa, no one else was prepared for this news. However, it was indeed a good thing for Lin Changqing to learn alchemy. His mother said happily, "My Kinger is so smart, learning alchemy will definitely be a piece of cake. When you become a first-class alchemist in the future, the elixirs I practiced for you will be handed over to you." "No problem, Mother, don't worry, I will take care of your elixirs," Lin Changqing said confidently. The aunt also said happily, "From now on, the spiritual herbs that I grow will not be sold to the General Affairs Hall. They will all be left for Kinger to make pills." "Okay, thank you aunt, but we shouldn't need so much in the early stage, so just keep a part of it first, and when we need more spiritual herbs in the future, we can keep them all for our own use." The aunt nodded and chuckled, "Then Kinger, you must study hard. In the future, we will grow spiritual herbs and make pills by ourselves. That will be perfect, don't worry, and I will definitely become an alchemist. I promise not to let you down," Lin Changqing said seriously. Lin Changling pulled Lin Changqing's hand and said seriously, "Brother, I also want to learn alchemy." "Okay, no problem. When I become an alchemist, I will teach you alchemy. Your fire spirit root aptitude is so good, you are most suitable to be an alchemist," Lin Changling cheered and said happily, "Great, brother. You must remember that you promised me. Don't regret it." Lin Changqing nodded and chuckled, "Isn't it just teaching you to make alchemy? It's not a big deal. I won't regret it, so don't worry." "Thank you, brother, brother is the best." Lin Changling smiled and began to pour smoke into Lin Changqing. She would not tell her brother that the clan leader did not agree with her learning alchemy because he was afraid that she would be distracted and affect her practice. At this time, the father also spoke up, and said seriously, "Kinger, it's a good thing for you to learn alchemy, but don't let it affect your cultivation. Cultivation is the basis of everything, don't worry, father. I know the priorities. I guarantee that cultivation comes first and alchemy comes second. I will never confuse the priorities," Lin Changqing promised. The father nodded and said nothing more. Grandpa smiled and said to Lin Changqing, "Kinger, study hard, and remember to learn all the skills of your sixth grandfather in alchemy. Of course, it would be even better if you can surpass your grandfather in the future." Hearing what his grandfather said, Lin Changqing also smiled and said, "Grandpa, don't worry. I am so smart and good, and sixth grandpa is embarrassed to hide it. I will definitely surpass my grandfather in the future." In fact, with the support of the inner space, Lin Changqing believes that his level of alchemy will definitely be better than sixth grandpa, and he can also pile himself into a high-level alchemist. After returning to the room, because it was still early, Lin Changqing decided to take a look at the 3 books that sixth grandpa gave him today. Lin Changqing just flipped through the Introduction to Alchemy and the thinnest recipe book and put them aside. He picked up the spiritual medicine catalog and started to look through it. When he saw the first spiritual medicine, He knew the difference between the spiritual medicine catalog of the spiritual plant master and the spiritual medicine catalog of the alchemist. For the same spiritual medicine, the content in the spiritual medicine catalog of the spiritual plant master is more inclined to how to plant and cultivate this spiritual medicine, and there are some things that need to be paid attention to. The spiritual medicine catalog of the alchemist focuses on the medicinal properties and effects of this spiritual medicine, including which part can be used as medicine and which part must be discarded, etc. However, fortunately, these spiritual medicines in the catalog are all familiar to Lin Changqing, so it is still very easy to learn. In just a quarter of an hour, Lin Changqing memorized the medicinal properties and effects of 7 or 8 spiritual medicines. It is estimated that it will not take long for him to master them all. I didn't expect that spiritual plant masters would have such convenience in learning alchemy. It's really good. As for the introduction to alchemy, in fact, to put it bluntly, it is a series of spells and formulas needed for alchemy. Learn this well and practice it more. The recipe is simpler and you just need to memorize it. In fact, to put it bluntly, alchemy is not as difficult as imagined. Instead, the spiritual medicine consumed in learning alchemy is the problem. But this is for others. Lin Changqing never has to worry about this aspect. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 257 Palm Thunder Dachin. He was fascinated by the spiritual medicine catalog in his hand, and soon 2 hours passed unknowingly. The main reason was that for Lin Changqing, who had a basic knowledge, it was really easy to learn. More importantly, Lin Changqing also liked to read these contents, so he was too involved and forgot the time. When he looked up again, it was already late at night, and he quickly put the spiritual medicine catalog back into the storage bag. Then he began to practice the Thunder Sutra, which was another fundamental method of Lin Changqing and a compulsory course every day. He would not interrupt it casually. Unless there was really no time, like this time on the way back to the family, Lin Changqing did not practice the middle section of the Thunder Sutra. He sat cross-legged and got into position, and began to practice the Thunder Sutra. When Lin Changqing packed up and laid down to rest, it was more than 2 hours later. The next morning, after completing the practice task, Lin Changqing flew directly to Aoyan Peak. He was going to complete the task he had left yesterday and the task of inducing birth today. When they were halfway through the flight, 2 golden figures appeared, and Lin Changqing knew that Cui and Chuer had arrived. Chuer had been in Jiufeng Mountain for several days, and no uncle had come to Lin Changqing's house to ask for an explanation. This proved that Chuer still listened to Lin Changqing and had not done anything too bad. He had always been worried that Chuer was wild and would be unruly, and might be better around him. Once it was set free, its nature would be exposed immediately, so he told Cui to keep a close eye on it. Now it seems that the result is not bad. Since Cui and Chuer had flown over to greet him, it was impossible for them to land immediately, so they played games with him in the air. The main thing was that Lin Changqing chased Chuer and flew around Aoyan Peak at high speed in the air. This was a game that Lin Changqing often played with Cui when he was practicing flying with a sword. Lin Changqing observed that Chuer generally flew a little slower than Cui, so now he was chasing after Chuer. Lin Changqing really flew at full speed, but he just couldn't catch up. After playing for a while, 1 man and 2 birds landed on the Aoyan Peak spiritual field. Cui and Chuer also landed beside him. However, Lin Changqing had to start working, so he fed each of them a nurturing spirit pill and let them play by themselves. Then, he began to stimulate the spiritual medicine in the spiritual field. When Lin Changqing was done, it was already noon. He returned to the yard beside the spiritual field, brewed a pot of green jade tea for himself, and took out the spiritual medicine atlas from yesterday again. He planned to study for about an hour, just to relax himself, and then practice various magic skills. Unexpectedly, he was fascinated at the first sight. When Lin Changqing looked up again, it was almost 2 hours. Lin Changqing quickly put the atlas into the storage bag and came to the practice room. Fortunately, the rest time was long enough, and the spiritual energy in the body had been fully restored, which was just right for practicing magic skills. Soon, another 2 hours passed, and Lin Changqing came out of the practice room with a happy face. Today was really a good day for him. His first lightning spell, Palm Thunder, has finally been cultivated to the great perfection realm. Although it is not the realm of the great perfection of telekinesis, it is not bad. Now the Palm Thunder spell can be formed in about one breath. The characteristic of this spell is fast speed. The power of the lightning spell itself is also good, and it also has a paralysis effect. In addition to Lin Changqing's super strong consciousness, the area within 100 feet is covered by the Palm Thunder. This is Lin Changqing's second successful spell. The first one is the Fireball spell. About 2 or 3 months ago, when Lin Changqing was still in Tuangshan village, he had already cultivated it to the great perfection. The real telekinesis spell, as long as Lin Changqing wants, he can really cast the Fireball spell uninterruptedly, plus his current key refining great perfection. He is practicing the 5 elements Chaos Sutra, and the quality of his spiritual energy is 5 times that of others, so he can cast hundreds of Fireball spells uninterruptedly, a real mobile turret. However, Lin Changqing didn't like the Fireball spell very much, mainly because, even if it was a perfect Fireball spell, its flying speed was still too slow, and it couldn't meet Lin Changqing's requirements. Short-range attacks might not be felt, but long-range attacks expose the biggest disadvantage of this spell, which was that it was too slow. It takes at least 2 to 3 breaths for a Fireball spell to fly over 100 feet. With these 2 or 3 breaths of time as a buffer, the enemy would have already run away. Who would stupidly stand still and wait for your Fireball spell to fly over and attack? Therefore, Lin Changqing really didn't like to use the Fireball spell, even though it was a perfect spell. But the Palm Thunder spell was different. It didn't take even 1/10 of a breath to reach a distance of 100 feet. It could be said that as long as the spell was cast successfully, the enemy would have to endure this attack. And now, the Thunder spiritual energy stored in one of Lin Changqing's Thunder acupoints can cast about 3 Palm Thunders. 14 Thunder acupoints means 42 Palm Thunders. In the key refining stage, if you want to attack Lin Changqing, you must first accept the baptism of 42 Palm Thunders. If you want to get close to Lin Changqing, you have to break through the defense circle of the purple crystal scorpion group. Just thinking about it makes me feel painful and desperate for the enemy. So now, Lin Changqing can basically be regarded as invincible in key refining, and maybe only the body defense is a little worse. They are all supported by several spirit-storing defensive spiritual tools, such as the Sky Thunder Shield, the Blue Thunder Pendant, and the 3 Treasure Spirit Beast Bracelet. I originally wanted to find a defensive spell to practice, but after thinking about it, I decided to forget it. He has now reached the great perfection of key refining. Let's wait until he succeeds in building the foundation, and then find a more powerful second-level defensive spell to practice. I left Aoyan Peak happily and flew straight to the main peak back to my yard. I didn't know where my sister ran to, and my mother was the only one at home. But she hasn't succeeded in building the foundation yet, so I haven't told her about the Thunder Sutra, so it's naturally inconvenient to share with her about the success of the Palm Thunder spell. Seeing that his mother was still at the 8th level of key refining, Lin Changqing suddenly remembered that he had not given his mother and aunt the 100 Flowers soul intoxicating wine yet. So he decided to do it today. So he said to his mother with a smile, "Mom, I have something good for you. Let's go to the room." After that, he took his mother to her room. Although his mother was a little puzzled, she was also smiling, wanting to see what good things her son was going to give her. "Kinger, you are so mysterious. What good thing are you going to give me?" Lin Changqing said proudly. "It's really a good thing. Grandpa, father, and second uncle have all used it. It's a kind of spiritual wine. I gave it a name, called 100 Flowers intoxicating wine. After you take it, you can feel the magic of it yourself." Mother chuckled and said, "Okay, I'll try Kinger's 100 Flowers intoxicating wine to see what magic it has." Lin Changqing took out a Zuinun heavy water bottle, and then habitually cast a spiritual light shield on himself, and then took a ball of spiritual wine out of the heavy water bottle. This time the amount is a little more. Mother is now at the 8th level of key refining. Lin Changqing increased the amount a little, which should allow her to digest and absorb it and directly reach the great perfection of key refining. "Mom, after taking this 100 Flowers soul intoxicating wine, you will fall into deep sleep for several hours. Grandpa and father were the same. Don't worry." "Oh, so that's the case. No wonder you asked me to come to the room. It's okay. After taking it, I will just lie down and rest." Lin Changqing nodded, then brought the wine to his mother, who swallowed it in one gulp. Soon, his mother fell into deep sleep. Lin Changqing had experience and knew that his mother must be wandering in the sea of flowers, appreciating the different flavors and artistic conception of thousands of flowers. So he sat at the door to protect his mother, so that his sister would not come back and disturb her impatiently. Chapter 258 Mother's Key Refining Great Perfection. By the way, he took out a book of spiritual medicines and continued to read it. It was a waste of time to sit there, so he might as well use it. In this way, time passed unknowingly, and Lin Changqing was fascinated by it. If he hadn't heard footsteps, he would still be immersed in the book. Sure enough, his sister Lin Changqing came back, followed by the furry little tiger girl. Seeing the little tiger girl outside, Lin Changqing was very upset. This little girl must have let a little black tiger out to show off in front of her friends. Lin Changqing glared at her directly. Lin Changqing smiled and asked knowingly, "Brother, why are you glaring at me? Are you stunned by your lovely sister?" Lin Changqing could hardly help but laugh at her shamelessness. He simply ignored her. Lin Changqing continued to ask, "Brother, what are you doing sitting at the door of Mother's room? What else can I do? Of course I am protecting Mother. She just took the 100 flowers soul-intoxicating wine and is now in a deep sleep. I am here to protect her," Lin Changqing explained unhappily. Lin Changqing blinked her eyes and keenly caught the words 100 flowers soul-intoxicating wine. As soon as she heard the name, she knew it must be a good thing. So she immediately smiled and came to Lin Changqing, took Lin Changqing's hand, and began her performance. Brother, I also want that 100 flowers soul-intoxicating wine. Brother, can you let me taste it too? Let's talk about this after Mother wakes up. How long have you advanced to the 5th level of key refining? Lin Changqing asked. It happened more than 3 months ago, brother. Am I very powerful? After saying that, he came to Lin Changqing again. Powerful, you are the most powerful in the whole family. Okay, Lin Changqing said to deal with it. Then brother, I'm so awesome, shouldn't you reward me? After saying that, he looked at Lin Changqing expectantly. Lin Changqing couldn't help laughing. It turned out that she was waiting for him here. He decided to follow her words and see what this clever girl was going to do. Just tell me. What reward do you want me to give you, brother? Look, I'm already at the 5th level of key refining, but I'm still using a mid-grade flying sword. Isn't that worthy of your sister's status as the little genius of the Lin family? I think it must be a top-grade or top-grade magic weapon flying sword to be more worthy of my status. Don't you think so, brother? After saying that, he blinked at Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing was speechless. He thought it was a difficult request. After so much trouble, all he wanted was a top-grade or top-grade magic weapon flying sword. What a smart stupid girl. He couldn't help but sigh softly, reached out and touched Lin Changqing's little head, then picked up the storage bag and started looking for it. Soon he found 4 magic weapons, 2 magic flying swords, 1 top-grade, 1 extreme grade, and 2 top-grade defensive magic weapons. These were all fine magic weapons, and Lin Changqing had already searched them carefully, and there were no marks on them. Only then did he feel at ease to leave them in the storage bag, and all the problematic magic weapons had been handed over to junior sister Hu. Moreover, these things were to be given to his sister, so he did not dare to be careless. So before taking them out, he used his spiritual sense to confirm them again, and found no problems, then handed them all to his sister Lin Changqing. After Lin Changqing took them, she cheered, and then immediately threw herself on Lin Changqing. Brother, you are so good to me, now I believe that I am your most beloved sister. Lin Changqing couldn't help laughing after hearing the last sentence his sister said. He stretched out his hand and pinched her little face, and said with a smile, "You are a smart stupid girl." He slapped Lin Changqing's hand that pinched her little face, and said proudly, "Brother, I am not stupid, I am the smartest. I know you love me the most, so I can succeed here every time." After that, he laughed, giggled. Lin Changqing couldn't help laughing, but then pretended to suddenly realize and said, "So that's the case, then I understand. I will never let you succeed next time. No, as long as you are still the brother who loves me the most, you will let me succeed next time." Lin Changqing continued to say proudly. Get up, I don't want to talk to people who are too thick-skinned." Lin Changqing knew that her brother was teasing her, and she didn't care at all, and continued to pester Lin Changqing. The two of them quarreled and played at the door of their mother's room, and time slipped away unknowingly. until I heard the sound of my mother's door opening, and then my mother walked out from inside in high spirits. Lin Changqing immediately sensed it and found that his mother had already reached the great perfection of ki refining, and her aura was very stable. Seeing this, he felt relieved. However, he continued to ask, "Mom, how do you feel?" "I feel very good. It seems that my body is much more relaxed, or should I say that my soul and body are all relaxed. I feel very comfortable. And after advancing to the great perfection of ki refining, my aura and cultivation realm are very stable. I feel that if I am given some more time to polish my spiritual energy, I can almost build a foundation." The mother was very happy and said with a smile. Sister Lin Changqing immediately caught the words such as advancing to the great perfection of ki refining and being able to build a foundation, and she didn't understand what was going on. She immediately rushed to her mother, hugged her hand, and said coquettishly, "Mom, have you reached the great perfection of ki refining? Didn't you just reach the 8th level this morning? How could it be so fast? Did your brother give you something good to eat? I want it too. I want it too." Lin Changqing tapped Lin Changqing's head lightly and said with a smile, "I want your head. Didn't you say that I always let you succeed? Then guess whether I will let you succeed this time." No, Changqing has only been advanced to the 5th level of ki refining for 2 or 3 months. It can't be used for her now. This is equivalent to forcing the growth of seedlings. It will take about half a year before it is almost enough. The mother hurriedly stopped her. "I know, I didn't plan to give it to her now. I mean the same as mother. She is not suitable to take this kind of spiritual thing now," Lin Changqing also explained. Seeing that her mother and brother disagreed to give her the 100 flowers intoxicating wine, Lin Changqing's little mouth pouted, which could be used as a hook. But she still turned to Lin Changqing, took his hand and said coquettishly, "Brother, will you give me that 100 flowers intoxicating wine in half a year?" Lin Changqing laughed and said, "It depends on the situation. Maybe you won't need the 100 flowers intoxicating wine by then, and you will break through by yourself. No, I just want to use your 100 flowers intoxicating wine to break through." After saying that, she pouted at Lin Changqing. That angry little look made Lin Changqing laugh. Unable to help but stretch out her hand to pinch her puffy little face again, Lin Changqing slapped Lin Changqing's hand away. Then she picked up the little tiger girl beside her and went back to her room angrily. The mother hit Lin Changqing lightly twice and chuckled, "You are so old, don't always tease your sister. I know, if I don't tease her, she will grow up." "There will be no chance," Lin Changqing said with a smile. Just at this time, the father came back, and the mother threw Lin Changqing aside and ran to share the news of her great perfection of ki training with her father. Afterwards, the two of them exchanged their feelings and experiences of taking Beihuzuhan wine. Not long after that, aunt and grandfather came back, and the home became even more lively. Chapter 259, Second Level Amethyst Scorpion. When the aunt saw that her sister-in-law Su Wenying suddenly had a round face after refining her spirit, and only needed to spend a little more time to polish her spirit, she could try to build her foundation. She was stunned on the spot, because even if she took the 100-year-old Zu fruit, it would not have such a powerful effect. After she learned the details from her mother, Lin Changqing could not run away, and she was caught by her directly. Then, the aunt pinched Lin Changqing's face and asked, "Zio Kinger, why doesn't aunt have 100 flowers intoxicating wine? Have you forgotten aunt?" Lin Changqing had known this would happen, and hurriedly said, "No, aunt has been so good to me since I was a child. Even if I forget to thank you, I can't forget you. I have prepared the things for you a long time ago. After you finish the spiritual meal, I will give you 100 flowers intoxicating wine." After hearing this, the aunt nodded happily and let go of the hand that was pinching Lin Changqing's face. "That's good enough. Aunt's love for you is not in vain. Zio Kinger, you are quite sweet-mouthed. No wonder you have a Taoist partner so soon." Grandpa watched his family members playing with a smile on his face, and when it was almost time, he opened his mouth to order everyone, "Listen to everyone, Kinger's 100 flowers intoxicating wine is now very low, you just know it by yourselves. Don't mention it in front of any outsiders in the future. Otherwise, we can't cope with it. Do you all understand?" Mother, aunt and sister nodded repeatedly to show that they understood and promised not to mention it in front of outsiders. Then the grandfather continued, "Wenying, since you have already reached the great perfection of ki refining, you must hurry up and polish your true ki. The foundation building pill has been prepared for you. Also remember to spend some time to go to the Family Sutra Pavilion and read more about the foundation building experiences of our ancestors. Then let Mao Sheng and Mao Ding tell you in detail about their experiences in building their foundations. Take into account all the possible problems, and strive to be foolproof and succeed in building your foundation in one go. When the mother heard that the foundation building pill had been prepared for her, she was very happy. She might be the first daughter-in-law from another family in the Lin family to build her foundation. Mother Su Wenying hurriedly replied respectfully, "Thank you, Dad. I understand. I must make every effort to build my foundation in one go." Grandpa nodded and continued, "Take your time. When you feel that you have no problem at all, come to me. I will help you apply to the clan leader to go to the spiritual eye of the family for a retreat to build your foundation." After hearing this, the mother agreed with excitement on her face, and once again solemnly thanked Lin Changqing's grandfather. The spiritual eye of the family's third-order spiritual vein belongs to the core of the entire family, and it is not easy to get close to it. Those who can practice in seclusion or build a foundation in seclusion in that place are recognized and trusted by the family's top leaders. She was originally planning to build a foundation in seclusion in the practice room at home, and at most exchange for more medium-grade water spirit stones at that time, which would also have a certain promoting effect. Unexpectedly, there was this unexpected surprise, which can be regarded as the family's recognition of her. Afterwards, after the family happily finished the spiritual meal, the aunt couldn't wait to pull Lin Changqing and his mother to her own small courtyard. Today, the mother was in a particularly good mood. Without Lin Changqing speaking, the mother had already begun to introduce it to the aunt in detail. Lin Changqing was happy and relaxed, and when the two of them said almost the same thing, Lin Changqing took out a Zuinun heavy water bottle, and then took out a Bulbeho Zuham wine. This time, the amount was a little more than that given to the 14th uncle at that time. The spirit wine was brought to the aunt, who swallowed it by herself. Then the mother asked her to lie down quickly. Soon, in just a short while, the aunt fell into deep sleep. After a few hours, when the aunt woke up, she would be at the second level of the foundation building. Lin Changqing left his mother here to protect her and went back first. He was going to go back and continue reading. He had to finish learning the spiritual medicine atlas as soon as possible, and he also had to start learning and practicing the series of spells and formulas needed for alchemy. As for the pill formula, he would learn it at the end. He returned to the room and made himself a pot of green jade tea. Every time he made tea, he would think of Chen Ziya involuntarily. He didn't know how she was doing now, whether she had already started to retreat and prepare for the foundation building. He sorted out his mood, took out the spiritual medicine atlas and read it carefully, and time passed unknowingly. 2 hours later, Lin Changqing closed the atlas and began to practice the Thunder Sutra. Days passed one by one. On this day, Lin Changqing was at Aoyan Peak. He had just completed the task of promoting the birth of spiritual medicine in the spiritual field and was sitting in the pavilion drinking tea and resting. Suddenly, he felt a sense of induction, and it was a continuous sense. It was a very wonderful feeling. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. After the 9th, there was no more. After waiting for a long time, Lin Changqing had already begun to blame himself for his clumsy hands, but the 10th sense finally came. That's right, these 10 consecutive senses were from the 10 purple crystal scorpions that had shed their shells. These little guys took half a month to finally complete the promotion, and now they are all second-level spiritual insects. Just now, the 10th sense was delayed, and he knew that he couldn't help but touch the purple crystal scorpion that day, and it still caused some impact on it. Fortunately, it succeeded in the end, otherwise Lin Changqing would regret it even more. He quickly found a piece of monster meat in the storage bag, cut it into smaller pieces, and took a portion of ginger crystal and put it aside for preparation. Then he released 10 second-level amethyst scorpions. They had just completed the promotion and needed to replenish some food. The 10 little guys devoured the food as soon as they came out. Soon, the broken monster meat prepared by Lin Changqing was eaten up, and it seemed a little insufficient, so Lin Changqing immediately replenished some. When they were about to finish eating, he released the ginger crystals and let them gnaw on it. When they stopped gnawing, Lin Changqing picked up an amethyst scorpion and played with it. He liked it more and more. This time when it shed its shell and promoted, the length of the amethyst scorpion did not change much. It just grew about an inch longer, and the purple color was more intense. The biggest change was that there was a pair of wings on its back. The wings were also purple, which should be the amethyst wings mentioned in the records. The shape was similar to the wings of the cicada, but it was a little longer. The overall look was very smooth and beautiful. If the amethyst scorpion stayed still, it really looked like a sculpture of amethyst, and if you looked at it for a long time, you would be delighted. He took out a list of strange insects from his storage bag, turned to the page of the amethyst scorpion spirit, and read it carefully again. He skipped the previous part about the habits and went straight to the introduction of the second stage. It was recorded that when the amethyst scorpion reached the second stage, it would comprehend a kind of innate magic called the purple light ray. Its effect was similar to that of the great sun purple light needle, except that one was a long-range attack and the other was a close-range attack. And after advancing to the second stage, the invisibility technique would be more exquisite. Lin Changqing estimated that when the amethyst scorpion reached the first stage, its invisibility technique was roughly equivalent to the entry level to minor success level. The reason why the invisibility effect was so good was probably because the amethyst scorpion itself was a light-type spirit insect, with a racial talent bonus. Now that it has been promoted to the second stage, the invisibility effect should be between the minor success and major success levels, plus the racial talent bonus. The invisibility effect must be better than before. And Lin Changqing could be sure that after the amethyst scorpion was promoted to the second stage, it became more spiritual. When he examined them before, they didn't cooperate very well. Now that they have been promoted, they know how to cooperate with him when he examines them. Lin Changqing pulled up its wings, and it actually knew how to open its wings and stay there motionless for Lin Changqing to examine. This alone shows that it is smarter and more spiritual than before. Their invisibility is ineffective against Lin Changqing. Even if he can't see them, Lin Changqing knows where they are. He can give the newly comprehended innate magic, the purple light ray, a try. Thinking of this, Lin Changqing's heart moved, and the 10 purple crystal scorpions began to flap their wings, stumbling and trying to fly. Soon, the 10 little guys were flying in a very good manner, flying and shuttling within a few dozen feet around Lin Changqing, and the speed was getting faster and faster. This was not controlled by Lin Changqing, but their own spontaneous behavior, and in the end it turned into 10 light purple lights. Lin Changqing ignored them, walked out of the yard, found a big rock, and with an idea in his mind, 10 amethyst scorpions flew in the air, and then fired a purple light ray at the position specified in Lin Changqing's mind. After 10 purple lights, 10 small holes 2 fingers wide appeared on the rock. Lin Changqing probed his consciousness into it to measure it. The depth was about 2 feet, and the inner wall of the small hole was very smooth. This was the power at a distance of about 30 feet. Lin Changqing retreated to a position of about 60 feet, and let the amethyst scorpion fire a purple light ray again. Then Lin Changqing went over to measure it. This time the depth was only a little more than 1.5 feet. He retreated to a position 100 feet away again. After the purple light, the depth of the small hole was only a little more than 1 foot. After 3 rounds of power tests, Lin Changqing had an idea of the power of the purple light ray. Chapter 260 The Amethyst Scorpion That Can't Be Found. Since I can't test the invisibility of the purple crystal scorpion myself, I'll ask someone else to test it. I put the 10 second level purple crystal scorpions into the spirit beast bracelet. I flew straight to the main peak on my sword and returned to my yard first. I wanted to ask my father to help me test it. Unexpectedly, I couldn't find anyone after a round. He was so happy that the purple crystal scorpion was promoted that he forgot that the family was now loose on the outside but tied on the inside. His father should have gone to the mountain protection formation to guard it. It was not convenient for Lin Changqing to go to the mountain protection formation now, so Lin Changqing went directly to find his grandfather. Fortunately, this time he did not go in vain, and his grandfather happened to be at home. When he just entered the door, Lin Changqing released the 10 little guys and surrounded him. Seeing Lin Changqing coming, Grandpa was also very happy. He chuckled and asked, "Zio Kinger, didn't you go to Aoyan Peak to take care of the spiritual field today? How come you have time to come to see Grandpa?" Lin Changqing stepped forward and said with a playful smile, "Grandson went there this morning, and the spiritual field's birth-inducing task today has been completed. Now I have encountered a great thing, so I came to Grandpa to share my joy. But what about this good thing? I won't tell you yet, let's see if Grandpa can find it himself." After saying that, he stood up and turned around in front of Grandpa. Then he continued to say, "Grandpa, look at where I am, is there anything different? Look carefully, If you can't see it, you can use your spiritual sense. After listening to his grandson's words, Grandpa looked at Lin Changqing from head to toe, but he couldn't see anything different from before. Then, just as Lin Changqing said, he used his spiritual sense to scan carefully several times, but still didn't find anything different. Then the grandfather shook his head and said, I didn't find anything different. Tell me, what's the plan? When Lin Changqing heard that his grandfather didn't find anything, he was immediately overjoyed. He cheered excitedly and clenched his fists. Then, he was glared at by his grandfather. However, Lin Changqing couldn't care less now. He was just happy. In the past, if the purple crystal scorpion approached the foundation-building cultivator, it would still be very likely to be discovered. Now he specifically reminded his grandfather. Grandpa didn't find these purple crystal scorpions around him. You know, Grandpa is now in the middle stage of foundation building. And he has taken the Earth Soul Fruit. The strength of his spiritual consciousness is definitely comparable to that of the late foundation building. With such a powerful spiritual consciousness, he hasn't found his little babies yet. How can he not be excited and happy? After trying to calm down, he said, Grandpa, there are 10 little guys around me now. Look carefully and see if you can find them, or find some clues about them. Hearing his grandson say this, coupled with his excitement just now, Lin Fandao had some guesses in his heart, but he still couldn't believe it. He searched a little bit with his spiritual sense again, and with Lin Changqing's hint, he finally found some clues. The 10 second-level purple crystal scorpions fell to the ground. They also have a certain weight. So their 6 legs left 6 relatively regular small pits on the ground. Lin Fandao found all 10 purple crystal scorpions through these 10 groups of regular small pits. Although he still couldn't see them, he still cast 10 magic power marks on the bodies of the 10 purple crystal scorpions. This time it was Lin Changqing's turn to be dumbfounded. After a moment of stunned silence, he immediately reacted and asked hurriedly, Grandpa, how did you find them? Seeing Lin Changqing's dumbfounded look, Lin Fandao's mood instantly improved. He explained to Lin Changqing with a smile, don't worry. I found them because of your reminder. If no one reminded me, I believe that ordinary foundation building cultivators would not be able to find them. This time, it was because they stood in the yard, the ground was all mud, and their own weight left a group of very shallow and regular small pits on the ground, so I found them. In the future, you just need to pay attention to avoid this problem. It's not a big problem. Now let them show up and show me those spirit scorpions. They have been promoted to the 2nd level. What's different from before? After listening to his grandfather's explanation, Lin Changqing suddenly realized and felt relieved. Otherwise, if all 10 second-level purple crystal scorpions were found, that would be terrible. With a thought, the 10 little guys lifted their invisibility. Their beautiful and smooth appearance, as if carved out of purple crystal, once again made his grandfather marvel. After watching for a while, Grandpa asked, see, they all have wings, they should be able to fly now, right? After advancing to the 2nd stage, in addition to invisibility and flying, have they awakened any other innate spells? Lin Changqing nodded proudly and said, yes, they have also awakened a kind of purple light ray, which seems to be a long-range attack that belongs to the soul system and the mixture of light system. I just found a place in Aoyan Peak to try it out. At a distance of about 30 feet, it can penetrate a 2-foot thick stone. At a distance of about 100 feet, it is no problem to penetrate a 1-foot thick stone. I haven't tried farther than that. This is the physical damage of the purple light ray. As for the soul damage of the purple light ray, there is no way to test it now, because it is estimated that the 1st stage monster beast cannot measure it. It may require a 2nd stage monster beast to show the test effect better. After hearing this, Grandpa was so excited that he couldn't help himself. Suddenly he remembered something and couldn't help asking, aren't there a total of 124? Why did we only see 10? Did those fail to advance? No, these are. I heard from my great-grandmother that the family was in trouble and suffered from the fact that the power at hand was too weak. So we concentrated resources and selected the 10 strongest purple crystal scorpions to give them priority to advance. The remaining more than 100 are still in the late stage of the 1st stage. But in a short period of time, I will not let them advance. These 10 little guys are promoted now, which is actually a behavior of forcing things to grow. I don't know if it will have any adverse effects on their continued promotion in the future, Lin Changqing said a little worriedly. Grandpa was relieved after listening to what Lin Changqing said. It's good that the remaining ones are still there. They will definitely continue to advance in the future. Now these 10 little guys should be enough. So he said to Lin Changqing, this time, God really helps my Lin family. You put these little guys away first, and then we will go to see the patriarch together. Hearing that his grandfather was going to see the patriarch, Lin Changqing was also a little strange, but he didn't ask much. He called all the little guys back and put them in the spirit beast bracelet. Then, Lin Changqing and his grandson flew to the place where the clan leader often went into seclusion, and soon arrived at the place where Lin Changqing had been last time. The restriction on the door automatically cracked open, and the clan leader's voice came out at the same time. 11. Why are you two here? Did something happen? Grandpa led Lin Changqing in through the crack, with a smile on his face and a high spirit, and greeted him with a smile. Hello, clan leader, of course there is a good thing this time, and it is a great thing. The clan leader chuckled and said, then why don't you tell me and make me happy? Why are you keeping it a secret? Grandpa chuckled twice and continued, don't worry, clan leader, you will see it soon. Then he said to Lin Changqing proudly, Kinger. Do it again for the clan leader what you did just now. Hello, clan leader, Lin Changqing greeted him with greetings. Then he was a little surprised to hear what Grandpa said, and couldn't help but exclaimed Grandpa continued, don't worry. The clan leader won't mind. You all have to demonstrate it anyway, so it doesn't matter what form it takes. Lin Changqing thought it made sense, and then his mind moved. 10 invisible second-level purple crystal scorpions came out of the spirit beast bracelet silently and spread around his body. Then Lin Changqing said to his grandfather, okay. Chapter 261 God bless the Lin family. Lin Fandao chuckled twice and said to the clan leader proudly, Clan leader, there are some invisible little things around us. See if you can use your magical powers to find them out. The clan leader understood a little bit. There must be something good. 11 would play such a joke on him. He also wanted to see what it was. He smiled and didn't say anything. He used his divine sense to search around the grandfather and grandson. However, he didn't find anything after scanning several circles. Then his expression began to be serious. He expanded the scope but still didn't find anything. Finally, the divine sense directly scanned the entire room several times, but still found nothing. 11. What are you doing? There's nothing in this room, the clan leader said with a face full of doubts. When Lin Changqing heard the clan leader say that there was nothing in the room, he was very happy. Needless to say, the clan leader's divine sense must have reached the limit of the second level. If he couldn't find it, others would find it even less. This time, Lin Changqing was so happy that he couldn't close his mouth. Grandpa was also very proud, and said to Lin Changqing, Kinger, let them all show up. Otherwise the clan leader will think that we are fooling him. Lin Changqing nodded with a smile, and with a thought, 10 purple crystal scorpions lined up in front of him, and then lifted the invisibility spell at the same time. The sudden appearance of 10 purple crystal scorpions really shocked the clan leader. Afterwards, the clan leader seemed to have realized something, and quickly concentrated his mind to observe these second-level spirit insects that suddenly appeared. No, these are all second-level spirit insects. First-level spirit insects will definitely not escape his spiritual sense search, and only second-level spirit insects with special abilities can avoid his second-level top spiritual sense search. With great joy in his heart, he asked quickly, these second-order spirit insects should be the spirit scorpions that Kinger had before, right? Have they all advanced to the second order now? Do they have any other abilities besides invisibility? Yes, clan leader, they are the spirit scorpions from before, but only these 10 have advanced to the second order, and the others are still in the first order. After they were promoted, they also awakened a kind of innate magic called purple light rays, which looks like a mixed long-range attack from the soul and light systems. We have tried it at Aoyan Peak just now. At a distance of about 30 feet, it can penetrate a 2-foot thick stone. At about 100 feet, it is no problem to penetrate a 1-foot thick stone. We haven't tried farther. But I believe that even a distance of 150 feet, or even 200 feet, can cause fatal damage to a cultivator in the key refining stage. Moreover, this is just when they have just advanced. I believe that the power of the purple light rays will be even stronger in the future, Lin Changqing introduced seriously. This time the clan leader was really delighted. He stood up and said to Lin Changqing and the others, let's go and try again. The power of these little guys' purple rays. Let me have a rough idea in my mind, so that I know how to arrange the next things. Then the clan leader brought the grandfather and grandson to a relatively spacious place. Looking at the spirit insects flying around Lin Changqing, he really liked them more and more. He said to Lin Changqing, "This is a distance of 120 feet. You let the little guys shoot at the protruding big rock." Lin Changqing nodded, and his mind moved. 10 purple rays shot out, and then 10 small holes appeared on the protruding big rock. Because 120 feet was beyond the range of Lin Changqing's spiritual sense, he didn't know how deep the holes made by the purple rays were. The clan leader and grandfather looked excited. Obviously, their spiritual sense had detected the depth. Lin Changqing couldn't help asking, "Patriarch, Grandpa, how deep is the hole?" Grandpa smiled and said, "The little guys are quite impressive. The hole is a little over 8 inches deep." Lin Changqing nodded. This depth was about the same as he estimated. Then he tested different distances of 100 zang, 80 zang, 60 zang, 40 zang, and so on. The data they got made them both very excited. The clan leader was even more excited and said, "The second-level defensive spell stone shield, when practiced to perfection, is only 1 foot thick. Then according to this power, the purple light ray within 100 feet can break through the 1 or 2 layers of shields of ordinary foundation-building cultivators. If you sneak attack an unprotected foundation-building cultivator, it will definitely be a fatal blow. Not to mention the key refining stage, 200 feet is fatal to them." In other words, the 2 foundation-building cultivators present here can no longer defeat these 10 little guys. In the end, the clan leader and grandfather were so excited that they couldn't help themselves, especially the clan leader who couldn't help but kept saying, "God bless my Lin family. God bless my Lin family." After a long while, the clan leader calmed down and said to Lin Changqing with a serious face, "Xiaoqinger, for the sake of the family, no matter what, you must succeed in building the foundation." Lin Changqing understood what the clan leader meant, and quickly assured, "Don't worry, clan leader. There is no problem for me to build a foundation. When the time comes, I will naturally build the foundation." At this time, the grandfather also said, "Don't worry, clan leader, Xiaoqinger is still very stable. If he said that building the foundation is not a problem, then it must not be a problem. Let's still care about these little guys. Should we test their flying speed again?" The clan leader nodded and said, "Yes, flying speed is also very important. Xiaoqinger, let a spirit scorpion chase me and try. I'll see how fast they are." Lin Changqing nodded, and with a thought, a purple crystal scorpion flew towards the clan leader at full speed, and then 2 sword lights, 1 gold and 1 purple, began to fly around the main peak at high speed. The purple light kept chasing behind the golden light, and the distance between them was always several dozen feet. After flying for a while, the golden light landed beside the grandfather and grandson, and the clan leader's figure appeared on the spot. Then the purple light also returned to Lin Changqing, flew around him for a few circles, and finally landed in his hand. Awesome! Awesome! Its speed is quite fast, at least faster than the normal middle stage of foundation building, and a little slower than the late stage of foundation building. I have been controlling the speed just now, and the distance between me and it is several dozen feet. However, if there are only 1 or 2 spirit scorpions, the late stage of foundation building may still be able to escape. But if there are 4 or 5 of them cooperating with each other and emitting purple light rays, the late stage of foundation building will definitely die. Unless you practice the secret art of speed, you may be able to escape from them." Hearing the clan leader say this, Lin Changqing was very happy, because the clan leader's assessment was much more accurate than his own. After hearing what the clan leader said, the grandfather was even more excited, and couldn't help asking the clan leader, "Great, then do we have the ability to deal with those 2 families?" The clan leader nodded and said, "Let's go back and talk about this issue first." "This is not the place to talk." The grandfather and grandson nodded, and then the 3 of them returned to the place where the clan leader was in seclusion. After entering, the clan leader also specially added a layer of restriction on the door. "Xiaoqinger, come here and sit next to me," the clan leader said with a smile. Lin Changqing could only go over and sit where the clan leader said. He knew that this was a sign of the clan leader's happiness. After sitting down, the clan leader looked up and down at Lin Changqing with a smile on his face, and sighed, "Xiaoqinger, you are really the unicorn of my Lin family. There's only 1 person like you in 8 generations. You should be the most outstanding cultivator in the Lin family except for the great-grandfather." When Lin Changqing heard that the clan leader gave such a high evaluation, he felt a little embarrassed. and there was a hot feeling on his face. He quickly said, "No, grandson just has this group of spiritual insects in his hand. The rest is really not as good as the clan leader said, and I don't deserve the clan leader's evaluation just now." The clan leader chuckled and said, "Okay, you don't have to belittle yourself. I know very well in my heart that even if one day, all of us old guys who have built our foundation die, and you are the only one left, you can also guard the Lin family. I believe this." Lin Changqing laughed dryly a few times, not knowing how to answer. Chapter 262 Enemies. The clan leader continued, "The vision of disciples from big sects is different. They fell in love with my killing at first sight. She got it lucky." This time Lin Changqing didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He knew that the clan leader was talking about Chen Ziya and couldn't help but defend her. No, when we were together, my purple crystal scorpion was only at the first level. And my cultivation level at that time was far worse than hers. I guess she is in seclusion now, and should be preparing to build her foundation. She definitely doesn't fancy these things." The clan leader laughed and scolded, "I only said that she has a good vision, and I didn't say anything else." "What did you think, Lin Changqing?" He laughed awkwardly a few times. Then the clan leader organized his words a little and said, "The family that attacked your 14th uncle this time has been confirmed. They are the Li family of Yuntang County and the Zhao family of Yuncheng County. The Li family of Yunnan County has been ruled out. Now they only have 2 foundation building cultivators left, and less than 100 key refining cultivators. They have taken the initiative to live in Yunnan County and Yunqing County near them. They took the initiative to give up a county. I think if someone wants Yunqing County, they will give it up. So the possibility of the Li family's action can be basically ruled out. In addition, during the time period when your 14th uncle was attacked, the 2 foundation building cultivators of the Li family were in the family. Many people can confirm this, so they are ruled out." Hearing this, Lin Changqing couldn't help asking, "Then how can we be sure that it was the Zhao family and the Li family?" The clan leader nodded and continued, "Because, although they suffered heavy losses in this beast tide, each family lost a foundation building cultivator, and dozens of clansmen, but they have not shown any signs of living in. Moreover, after verification from many parties, during the time period when your 14th uncle was attacked, there were 2 foundation building cultivators from each of their 2 families, whose whereabouts are unknown. So it can be basically confirmed that it is these 2 families." Lin Changqing was hesitant to speak after hearing this. The clan leader saw this and said directly, "Zio Kinger, if you have anything to say, just say it. I no longer regard you as an ordinary clan member, but as a family elder in the foundation building stage." After hearing what the clan leader said, Lin Changqing couldn't help but feel a little excited. After calming down his emotions with great difficulty, he spoke up and said, "Could it be one of the families that did it?" "Why are you sure it was both of them?" The clan leader shook his head and said, "It's definitely their 2 families. There's no mistake." At this time, Grandpa also spoke up and said, "Let me explain this question to you. The Zhao and Li families have been intermarrying for generations, and it has been hundreds of years now. And they are also allies, and they have always been together. So if there is anything, it must be done by the 2 families together. If we fight one family, the other will definitely come to rescue. Of course, the Li family still has 3 foundation building cultivators, and the Zhao family also has 4 foundation building cultivators. Their strength is not weak, and even exceeds that of the Lin family when added up. This is why, although we have confirmed that we attacked your 14th uncle's family, we have not taken any action." Lin Changqing finally understood the cause and effect of the whole thing now, so he couldn't help asking, "Then clan leader, what are your plans?" The clan leader laughed. "Originally, I was planning to find an opportunity with your grandfather and your father to ambush Li Yaoshan, the foreign affairs elder of the Li family. I have arranged for the clan members to keep an eye on his whereabouts. Unexpectedly, during this period, the foundation building cultivators of the Li family did not come out, and the family's mountain protection formation has always been in a semi-open state. I guess they already know that the matter has been exposed. But now with you and these 10 little guys, it's different. My initial plan is that your 2 grandfathers and I, the 3 of us, will block the door of the Li family, and you and your father will ambush at a farther place. If the Li family dares to fight, we will entangle them, and then you will rush up and kill them with a spirit scorpion. If the Li family dares not to fight and asks the Zhao family for help, you will ambush the Zhao family's cultivators. I estimate that they will come with at most 3 foundation building cultivators. You arrange for every 5 spirit scorpions to focus on one person, and the remaining foundation building cultivator will be temporarily entangled by your father, and you will be free to clean up together. We will entangle the 3 foundation building cultivators of the Li family, and wait for you to come to support us, and see if we can take down 1 or 2 more cultivators of the Li family. That's about it. According to my plan, it should be a sure thing. We will have to wait for your 6th grandfather to come, and then we will discuss the details in detail. Lin Changqing nodded, and then the clan leader took out the tea set and began to brew spiritual tea. The 3 of them drank tea and chatted together. The clan leader mainly asked some questions about the purple crystal scorpion, and Lin Changqing chose some unimportant answers. After a while, the clan leader suddenly said, "Your 6th grandfather is here?" Then he raised his hand and cast a spell on the restriction of the gate, and the restriction cracked. Soon, the 6th grandfather came in. Lin Changqing quickly stood up and saluted. "Hello, 6th grandpa." 6th grandpa nodded. "Hello, clan leader, 11th brother, you said you had important matters to discuss. Has something happened?" Lin Fandao said with a smile. 6th brother, don't worry, it's definitely a good thing, a great thing. You'll know in a minute. The clan leader also said with a smile, "Let me tell you, it's more credible, otherwise little 6 will definitely doubt the truth of the matter. By the way, Mao Sheng also has to participate in this matter, but he is on duty at the mountain protection formation now, so we won't call him for the time being, and little 11 will convey it to him later." Grandpa nodded and said, "Okay, clan leader, don't worry. I'll convey it to him clearly when I go back." The clan leader nodded and continued, "That's best. Little 6, this is what happened." The clan leader talked about Lin Changqing's 10-second level purple crystal scorpions and their abilities, and then told 6th grandpa Lin Fangsun about the preliminary plan he had just made. After listening to the clan leader's words, Lin Fangsun was really dumbfounded. The main point of the clan leader's words was only one. That is, Lin Changqing's actual combat power has surpassed the clan leader. He is the real number 1 in the Lin family. The revenge plan he formulated is also centered around Lin Changqing. He really thinks that the world is too crazy. A little cultivator in the key refining stage actually has such terrible combat power. After spending a little time to digest it, he couldn't help but say to Lin Changqing, "Good boy, no wonder you dare to go on the road alone and return to the family. I always thought you were lucky. It turns out that others are unlucky. With your ability, ordinary foundation building cultivators will also be killed by spirit stones when they meet you. Hurry up and summon those little guys to show me." As soon as the 6th grandpa finished speaking, the clan leader and grandpa laughed. Lin Changqing quickly corrected him, "No, 6th grandpa, on my way back to the family, these spirit scorpions were still in the late first stage. I relied on the warnings of the 2 golden-winged birds to avoid danger, and I didn't earn any spirit stones along the way. As for those little guys, they have always been in this room. Do you want to try to find them first?" Lin Fangsun asked in disbelief. "You mean, they have always been here?" Lin Changqing nodded. Grandpa smiled and said, "Yes. 6th brother, what do you think the clan leader and I were laughing at just now?" Chapter 263 Plan. After hearing what his 11th brother said, Lin Fangsun ignored him and directly used his spiritual sense to scan the room for more than 10 times. After failing to find them, he started searching from his side little by little. It took at least a quarter of an hour, but he still couldn't find them. Finally, there was really no other way. 6th grandpa said to Lin Changqing a little embarrassedly, "Zio Kinger, 6th grandpa really can't find them, you can make them appear." Hearing what he said, the clan leader and grandfather laughed again, and 6th grandpa couldn't help but glared at them. However, Lin Changqing didn't dare to laugh. With a thud, 10 purple crystal scorpions lined up neatly in a row and appeared in front of everyone. 6th grandpa opened his eyes wide, observing them carefully, and then couldn't help but exclaimed, "So beautiful, like carved from purple crystal, no wonder the invisibility technique is so powerful. I just don't know if the purple light ray is as powerful as the clan leader said." The clan leader chuckled and said, "Now that you are standing at this distance, a purple light ray from these spirit scorpions is enough to penetrate your 2-3 yang flame shields." Although Lin Fangsun was a little bit unconvinced, but since the clan leader said so, he had to believe it. So he said to Lin Changqing, "Zio Kinger, these little guys look pretty, you can communicate with them and let 6th grandpa touch them, okay?" Lin Changqing was a little speechless. He didn't expect that the beauty of the purple crystal scorpion would be so attractive to men. But since Grandpa had spoken, he could only do it reluctantly. With a thought, a purple crystal scorpion flew into his hand. Then he said to sixth grandpa, "Okay, sixth grandpa, you can touch it, but don't touch its tail needle. Otherwise, if you are stung by it, you will definitely hate me for the rest of your life." Sixth grandpa was a little surprised and said, "Is it really that powerful?" Lin Changqing nodded and said, "This time, I will see if I can catch a live one and show you how to do it. Then you will understand." Sixth grandpa also nodded and said, "Okay, I'll wait and see you show me how to do it." After that, he began to study the amethyst scorpion in Lin Changqing's hand. Sixth grandpa was really studying it. He touched it here, knocked it there, stretched its wings and pinched them, and asked Lin Changqing to turn it over and studied its abdomen. Fortunately, it was in Lin Changqing's hand, otherwise it would have been angry long ago. After a long time, sixth grandpa returned to his seat and sat down. "How is it, Xia Aliu? After watching for a long time, have you figured out anything?" the clan leader asked. Sixth grandfather shook his head and said, "The name has not been studied, and we can only see that this kind of spirit scorpion is born completely for hunting and killing. And it looks like the grade is not low. It is estimated that the resources consumed to cultivate them will definitely not be a small number." After listening to the conclusion of sixth grandfather, Lin Changqing couldn't help but nodded. Sixth grandfather was still a sharp eye. He saw the problem at once. At this time, the clan leader also said, "Kinger, if you cultivate these spirit scorpions in the future, if the resources are not enough, the clan will support you in part. If you need anything at that time, you can tell me directly." Lin Changqing hurriedly said, "Thank you, clan leader, I can still support it for the time being. When it is really not enough, I will ask you again." The clan leader nodded and did not dwell on this issue. Instead, he said, "You already know the plan. Now let's discuss it in detail to see if there is anything to add and try to make it foolproof. In particular, we must ensure Kinger's safety. Other things are secondary." Then the three grandfathers kept discussing, and Lin Changqing was mainly listening. If it was not necessary, he would not express his opinions casually. This internal discussion of the family's top leaders lasted for more than an hour before it ended. After that, the tasks were assigned to each person, and Lin Changqing went back with his grandfather. There was a lot of content to discuss this time, including the time of the action, how to start, to what extent to end, how to stand and cooperate, what gestures meant, how to collect evidence, how to face the inquiry of Qingyun sect without evidence, and a series of other issues. Anyway, in his opinion, all aspects were taken into consideration, and it was very detailed, which also made Lin Changqing gain some knowledge. The grandfather and grandson were walking on the way back, and the grandfather said to Lin Changqing, "When the action starts, you try to hide well and don't come out. If the situation is not favorable to us, you must leave as soon as possible so that we can get away. Do you understand?" Lin Changqing nodded, but he was just dealing with his grandfather. How could he abandon his father and grandfather and run away? There are only 7 foundation building cultivators in the Zhao and Li families, and at least one needs to stay behind to guard the house. So at most, there will be only 6 foundation building cultivators. He is really not afraid at all. Anyway, it is impossible to run away. Even if he didn't use Lin Changliu, he still had the trump cards given by Senior Chen Jie and his great-grandmother, which had already been sacrificed. As long as Lin Changqing was willing to risk his life to kill 2 foundation building cultivators, it shouldn't be a problem. After staying at the clan leader's place for most of the day, it was already evening when they came out, and the grandfather and grandson returned home. It just so happened that the spiritual meal prepared by his mother and aunt was almost ready. After the family finished the spiritual meal, Grandpa called Lin Changqing and his son out, and the 3 of them went directly to the secret room of his grandfather's house. This time Lin Changqing already had experience. As soon as he entered the secret room, he released the purple crystal scorpions and let them hide and wait for orders. Then he stood aside and listened quietly to the conversation between his grandfather and his father Lin Maoshen. Lin Changqing knew everything, and his father's reaction was similar to that of the 6th grandfather. "Okay, that's about it. Your task at that time is to protect your son. Everything else is secondary. Do you understand?" Grandpa asked seriously. The father nodded, and then asked worriedly, "Dad, are you sure those spirit scorpions are really that powerful? 5 of them can definitely kill a foundation building cultivator with their combined firepower." The grandfather glared at him. feeling that he had been talking for a long time, but his son still didn't listen. He couldn't help but say a little depressed, "You kid don't even believe what I say? Then let you open your eyes." He looked at Lin Changqing and said, "Kinger, where are the spirit scorpions?" Lin Changqing knew this would happen, and said with a smile, "They have been in the secret room all the time." The father opened his eyes wide in surprise, and then quickly used his spiritual sense to start looking. This secret room was not big, but he searched for a long time and still found nothing. The father looked at Lin Changqing. Without him saying anything, Lin Changqing knew what to do. Then he moved his mind, and 10 purple crystal scorpions lined up in a row and appeared neatly in front of his father. The father was stunned for a moment, and then he reacted. He knew these spirit scorpions, and he didn't expect that they would grow wings after being promoted. At this time, Grandpa spoke again, "Kinger, let a little guy shoot a purple ray of light at the ground. Let your father know their attack power." Lin Changqing agreed, and then with a thought, a purple crystal scorpion flew up and shot a purple ray of light at the ground. A 2-finger-wide hole immediately appeared on the rock floor of the secret room. Without anyone reminding him, Lin Changqing immediately probed his consciousness into it and found that the depth was more than 2.5 feet, almost 3 feet. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 264, 3-Day Tour of Fangxi. Lin Changqing was shocked by the result. The attack power of these little guys was too sharp. No wonder his father dared to say that 5 spirit scorpions could definitely kill a foundation-building cultivator with their combined firepower. In his opinion, it was a waste for 5 spirit scorpions to attack together. 3 would be enough. Moreover, now that he had seen these 10 second-level spirit scorpions, he was full of confidence in this operation. These 10 little guys were really too strong. No wonder the plans made by the clan leader were all centered around his son Lin Changqing and these spirit scorpions. At this time, the grandfather looked at Lin Changqing's father and asked, "Did you see it? The stealth and attack capabilities of the spirit scorpion should be beyond your imagination. Do you think you can escape from the attack of a group of 5 of them? Think about what will happen to other people who are not prepared when they encounter them. It should be no problem now, right?" The father nodded quickly and said, "Absolutely no problem. Seeing the attack power of the purple light ray, to be honest, if I encounter them, I will definitely be doomed. With these little guys, this time the Li family will definitely be caught off guard. I will just act according to my father's instructions. Today I have learned a lot." The grandfather looked at him seriously and said, "Gather at the family square at Chenxi tomorrow. Although there are these powerful spirit scorpions, you two must also pay attention to safety. I won't say anything else. You two go back and have a good rest and prepare for tomorrow's ambush." Lin Changqing and his father quickly agreed, and then Lin Changqing recalled the 10 second-level purple crystal scorpions. After saying goodbye to the grandfather, the father and son walked out. After walking for a distance, the father patted Lin Changqing on the shoulder and said, "You kid, you have such a powerful spiritual insect, why didn't you tell me earlier? As your father, I was the last one to know, which makes me lose face." Hearing this, Lin Changqing couldn't help laughing, and then he explained, "It's not my fault. These purple crystal scorpions have just completed their shelling and promotion today. I completed the task of the Aoyun Peak spiritual field, and went home as soon as possible. I was going to tell you and help test their various abilities by the way. Who knew you were not at home, so I had to ask Grandpa for help. If you don't believe me, you can ask Mother. She knew that she went home to find you in the morning." This time, the father had nothing to say and could only laugh awkwardly. Suddenly, Lin Changqing remembered that he had to gather at the family square at Chenxi tomorrow. In fact, it was only 7 or 8 hours away. He might as well take advantage of the little time now and go to Aoyun Peak first to recall the remaining purple crystal scorpions into the spirit beast bracelet. Of course, we also need to bring Chui and Chur. They are Lin Changqing's eyes, and long-range early warning depends on them. He did it as soon as he thought of it, and said to his father beside him, "Dad, I will go to Aoyun Peak to summon the remaining spirit scorpions back, and take Chui and Chur with me. You go home first." His father nodded and said, "Go. Come back early to rest, we have to set off early tomorrow morning." Lin Changqing agreed, and then flew straight to Aoyan Peak. This time, Chua and Chua found Lin Changqing much later than usual, because it was completely dark now. However, he was almost close to Aoyan Peak, and Chua and Chua flew out and circled around him. Because it was too late, he didn't play with them. After communicating with Chua and Chua, he put them both into the Spirit Beast bracelet. Then he came directly to the territory of the purple crystal scorpion, which was easier. Lin Changqing had an idea and summoned all the remaining more than 100 little guys back. All of them were gathered in front of him and put into his Spirit Beast bracelet, but they were not placed in the same space with the 10-second level purple crystal scorpions. The difference in strength was too great, so it was better not to put them together for the time being. Purple crystal scorpions would occasionally fight, so it was better to separate them first to avoid unnecessary losses. After doing all this, Lin Changqing went home directly. He had to go back to practice the Thunder Sutra, and then rest early to recuperate, and gather strength early tomorrow. Unexpectedly, when he returned to his yard, his mother, aunt, and sister were all in the living room, obviously waiting for him. Seeing that, he must have told them something by his father. Lin Changqing was most afraid of this kind of scene, but now he could only bite the bullet and walk in. She asked, even though she knew the answer, "Mom, Aunt, and Changling, why don't you go back to practice? What are you doing here?" Hearing that Lin Changqing was trying to fool around, Sister Lin Changling said directly, "Of course we are waiting for you. Brother, we already know that you and Dad will go out on a mission early tomorrow morning," Lin Changqing hurriedly explained. "It's just a small mission, we will be back in 2 or 3 days at most. You don't have to be like this. This mission is really not dangerous for me." The mother sighed, reached out and touched Lin Changqing's face, and said with a bit of complaint, "You've only been back for 10 days, and you have another mission tomorrow. Kinger, you must pay attention to safety and come back safely." Lin Changqing could only nod and agree with a grin. The aunt stretched out her hand and pinched his cheek, admonishing him, "When you go out to perform the mission, you must be smart. Aunt also wants to see you get married and have children. In the future, I will help you take care of the children when I am free. So, you must come back safely." Got it? Lin Changqing felt warm in his heart, but he also blamed his father a little. This time he would probably be out for 2 or 3 days, and he told them what to do. Let them worry for nothing. Moreover, he didn't explain it clearly to them. His father must have only told half of it, and the other half could only be told by Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing smiled and said to them, "You really don't have to worry. I guess my father must have forgotten to tell you just now. Now let me show you my trump card, so that you don't always worry about this and that." This time, the mother and the others were attracted by Lin Changqing's words. The aunt said directly, "If you have any trump cards that we can see and feel at ease, just take them out." The mother and sister also nodded, both with expectant looks on their faces. Lin Changqing chuckled, and with a thought in his mind. 10 purple rays of light shot out from the Spirit Beast bracelet and began to fly at high speed around the 4 people present. His sister Lin Changling cheered and couldn't help asking, "Brother, what is this? It's so fast. I can't even see what it is." Lin Changqing smiled proudly and said, "They are your old friends. Do you want to guess what they are?" His sister Lin Changling was also very smart. After Lin Changqing's hint, she immediately thought of it. She blurted out, "These purple rays are my brother's spirit scorpion pets. Have they been promoted to the 2nd level? Smart. I'll reward you with a 3-day trip to the market. I'll give it to you when I come back." Lin Changqing deliberately said something to make his sister happy. Lin Changling screamed directly, and then threw herself on Lin Changqing, extremely happy. With starlight in her eyes, she said to Lin Changqing, "That's great. That's great. Brother, you are so good to me. I am indeed your most beloved sister." Lin Changqing patted her on the back and said with a smile, all right, come down quickly. Why are you so heavy? I am going to be crushed by you." Lin Changling jumped off her brother angrily, glared at him and said, "Nonsense, I obviously only weigh so little." Lin Changqing ignored her and just shook his arms, as if she was really heavy. Lin Changling was so angry that she ignored him. When the mother heard that Lin Changqing said he would take his sister to the market for 3 days, she was a little worried that he would not be able to fulfill it. Lin Changling would definitely be very sad. She couldn't help but remind her, "Kinger, don't make random promises to your sister. The clan leader will not agree to your sister going out casually." The aunt knew more about the situation and nodded as well, indicating that she agreed with her sister-in-law. Chapter 265, A Gentle and Elegant Mind. Lin Changqing said with a smile, I definitely didn't agree before, but now it's different. With these 10 little guys, 1 or 2 foundation building cultivators will die if they run into them, so many places can be visited. So the clan leader will agree. Hearing Lin Changqing say this, the younger sister cheered again, then snorted again, turned around and ignored Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing's pretending to be angry made her laugh. Hearing Lin Changqing's explanation, the mother and aunt were very surprised. They opened their eyes wide and looked at the 10 purple lights flying around them at high speed. The mother asked, since you say they are so powerful, then besides flying fast, they must have other abilities. Let us see them. Lin Changqing nodded, and with a thought in his mind, 10 purple lights fell to the ground and disappeared. Mother and aunt, you can look for them, especially aunt, whose spiritual sense is relatively strong. You can look carefully. The two nodded and began to search carefully, but after working for a long time, they did not gain anything, and finally had to give up. As for his younger sister Lin Changqing, she is only at the 5th level of key refining now, and has no spiritual consciousness, so she can only make trouble on the side. Lin Changqing's mind moved, and 10 purple crystal scorpions appeared at the same time. Ant looked at the 10 second level spiritual scorpions on the ground and said thoughtfully, these spiritual scorpions should have a very powerful attack, right? Otherwise, how dare Kinger say that 1 or 2 foundation building cultivators will die if they encounter them? So Kinger, don't hide it, let them show it. Let us see it. Ant is really kind and elegant. I just let out a little bit of information, and Ant guessed it almost right. It's amazing. Lin Changqing marveled at his aunt's cleverness. He said to his mother and the other 3, it's not convenient outside, let's go to the secret room at home. The ground there is all stone, so you can see the effect directly. Mother and the other 3 nodded, and then they all entered the secret room at home. Lin Changqing asked a purple crystal scorpion to shoot a purple light ray at the ground. After the purple light, a hole more than 2 feet deep, close to 3 feet deep, was left on the stone on the ground. There is no need to explain so much this time. After the mother and aunt detected it, they were both extremely surprised. At the same time, they also had a general understanding of the attack power of Lin Changqing's spirit scorpions. Indeed, this kind of spirit scorpion can fly, be invisible, and has an absurdly strong attack power. There are not just 1 but 10 of them. No wonder they dare to say such a thing. It is not surprising to kill 1 or 2 foundation building cultivators head-on, not to mention that these spirit scorpions are obviously more inclined to sneak attacks and ambushes. The aunt pondered for a moment before speaking, sister-in-law. Since Kinger has these spirit scorpions to protect her, we don't have to worry too much. Let Kinger go back and rest early. We will gather and set off at noon tomorrow. The mother nodded, and continued to remind, although you have these spirit scorpions to protect you, you must also pay attention to your own safety. If you can't do it, take care of yourself first. Do you understand? Lin Changqing nodded seriously and agreed, saying, the child knows. Mother and aunt can rest assured. Brother, remember to come back early and take me to the market to play. Lin Changqing couldn't help but talk to her brother Lin Changqing in the end. I know, I will be back soon. Pinching Lin Changqing's little face, Lin Changqing said goodbye to them and went back to his room. Finally, he breathed a sigh of relief. In fact, there is no need to tell the family at all. They will be back in 2 or 3 days. It's so troublesome now. Thinking that they will set off tomorrow, Lin Changqing spent some time feeding all the spirit pets in the spirit beast bracelet, especially the 10 second level purple crystal scorpions. Lin Changqing didn't have any second grade low quality spiritual crystals at the moment, so he could only use the 3 second grade medium quality black crystal rocks that Chen Ziya had given him. He took one out and threw it into the space where the second grade purple crystal scorpion was, letting them chew it slowly. Then he sent another 300 spiritual stones in, any kind they like to chew. These 3 second grade medium quality black crystal rocks were originally given to the 1st grade purple crystal scorpions to chew, but they were found to prefer to chew spiritual crystals of the same grade as theirs. So Lin Changqing took back the 3 second grade medium quality spiritual crystals. After this matter was over, I happened to take Lin Changqing to the market to play for a few days, and then I would go to the Wanbao Pavilion. I would see if there were any suitable second grade low quality spiritual crystals. I had to buy some and save them as food for the second grade purple crystal scorpions. After feeding the spirit beasts, Lin Changqing cleaned up and began to practice the Thunder Sutra. Early the next morning, after completing the practice of the 5 Elements Chaos Sutra, Lin Changqing came to the living room. Unexpectedly, his father and mother were already there waiting for him. After greeting his parents, Lin Changqing couldn't help but say, "Dad, actually this mission is only 2 or 3 days, we don't need to tell Mom and them at all." His father glared at him and whispered, "You know shit, don't tell them," and suddenly disappear for several days. They will be more worried, so it's better to just tell them that you are going out to perform the mission, so that they won't have any random thoughts. Lin Changqing listened and thought that it made sense, so he didn't say anything else. Hearing that Lin Changqing meant to go out to perform the mission for them, his mother Su Wenying wanted to teach Lin Changqing a lesson, but when she thought that they were about to set off today, she put the idea away and told him to remember it first, and wait for Lin Changqing to come back before dealing with him. She just tidied Lin Changqing's clothes and reminded him to pay attention to safety. The father continued, "This mission needs to be kept secret. I told your mother not to see us off. Time is running out. Let's go." After saying goodbye to his mother, Lin Changqing and his son left the yard together and headed straight for the family square. When they arrived, they saw that it was empty. They were the first to arrive. Unexpectedly, the next person to come was his aunt Lin Maoting. Seeing his aunt, Lin Changqing frowned, and waited for everyone to greet her. Lin Changqing couldn't help asking, "Aunt, why are you here? You won't participate in this operation, will you?" Aunt shook her head and chuckled, "Don't worry. I won't participate. I'm here to see you off first. After you leave the clan, I will go to the core of the mountain protection formation to guard it until you come back safely." Lin Changqing suddenly realized that he was really afraid that his aunt would go with him. Soon, the clan leader and grandfather also arrived. After everyone greeted them, the clan leader gave Lin Changqing and his son a photo bead each, and asked them to wait and refine it on the wind boat. When the time comes, if they feel it is necessary, they can activate the photo bead and record some things that need to be recorded. After seeing that everyone was gathered, Feng Chang released the wind boat, and several people immediately boarded the flying boat. Lin Changqing had taken this flying boat many times and was very familiar with it. Lin Changqing waved goodbye to his aunt, and then the clan leader set off on the boat. Soon he left the mountain gate and flew toward Jiufeng County. At this time, the clan leader said, "It will take about 5 hours from here to Jiufeng County. You can refine the photo bead first. You may need it someday." Lin Changqing and his son quickly agreed. The clan leader continued, "I will drop you off outside the mountain gate of the Li family, about 7 or 8 miles away, and then you will let the golden-winged bird keep an eye on you. If the foundation building cultivators of the Li family dare to come out to fight, you must wait until we lead them away from the mountain protection formation for a distance and they are entangled in a fight. Then intervene, understand? Otherwise, they may be frightened and shrink back into the mountain protection formation." Lin Changqing nodded and said, "Don't worry, clan leader. We understand, and we will flexibly choose the right time to take action, and will never let the foundation building cultivators of the Li family run back into the mountain protection formation easily." Father Lin Maosheng also gave almost the same answer. The clan leader nodded and said nothing more. Lin Changqing thought for a while, and took out 2 newly bought hidden spirit masks from the storage bag, and gave one to his father. The clan leader and grandfather and the other 3 did not need to do anything. Anyway, the people of the Li family and the Zhao family must know them. The clan leader was very pleased when he saw Lin Changqing took out 2 hidden spirit masks. This way, the father and son would not easily reveal their true faces. They could continue to hide for a while, so he couldn't help but praise him. "Good boy, you are really thoughtful. It seems that you have learned a lot in this year outside." Chapter 266 Number 5. Grandpa and 6th Grandpa also saw the hidden spirit mask that Lin Changqing took out, and they were full of praise for Lin Changqing. Lin Changqing was embarrassed by their praise. At this time, Grandpa Lin Fandao said again, "Since the father and son are already dead, then we should call them by their original names again. Let's give them a new name now." This proposal was unanimously agreed by everyone. 6th Grandpa thought for a while and said, "Since Xiao Kinger is the killer of this operation, why don't we call him Golden Mace, and Mao Sheng is mainly responsible for protecting Xiao Kinger, so why not call him Golden Shield?" Well, it's simple and easy to remember. As soon as this proposal came out, Lin Changqing quickly objected, No, what Golden Mace, Golden Shield, it's really ugly. How about this? 6th grandpa is number 1, my grandfather is number 2, the clan leader is number 3, my father is number 4, and I am number 5. In this way, no order is arranged, and others can't guess who is number 1. The clan leader and the 2 grandfathers, the people of the Li family and the Zhao family must know you, so you can call yourself whatever you want, but when you call the 2 of us, you can only call us number 4 or number 5. My father and I will also call you number 1, 2, and 3, so that others can't guess the relationship between us from our names. Moreover, this way of calling, others can't guess what your specialties are, and it won't reveal any information to the enemy. What do you think of my proposal? The clan leader was overjoyed when he heard it, and couldn't help but praise. Number 5. This proposal is great, it's absolutely wonderful. In the future, if we go out to do anything else, we will refer to the proposal of number 5. Number 5, you are a good kid. I will give you an extra 10% of the spoils when the time comes. Lin Changqing also found it very interesting, and thanked him with a smile. That's great, thank you number 3. The others found it interesting and laughed too. However, the clan leader had spoken, and the matter was settled. After putting on the hidden spirit mask and refining the image pearl, there was nothing else to do on the flying boat. Lin Changqing simply took out the spirit medicine atlas from the storage bag and continued to read it. He soon became addicted to it. So before he knew it, a few hours had passed in a flash, and Jiufeng Mountain, where the Li family of Yuncheng County was located, was already in sight. When it was 7 or 8 miles away from Jiufeng Mountain, the clan leader's wind-traveling boat stopped for a while, and Lin Changqing jumped off immediately, followed by his father Lin Maosheng. The clan leader said to Lin Maosheng seriously, Number 4, you must protect number 5, he is very important to the Lin family. The father nodded and said firmly, Don't worry, number 3, unless I die, number 5 will be fine. The clan leader looked at the father and son, nodded, and then drove the wind boat straight to the gate of the Li family in Jiufeng Mountain. As soon as the clan leader and the 2 grandfathers left, the father said, Number 5, let's go to that forest first, get the golden winged bird tribe out, and then find a favorable position to hide. Lin Changqing nodded, and the 2 rushed into the nearby forest. Then they released the 1st, 2nd, and 5th golden winged birds, and let them rise into the sky as soon as they came out, and specifically told them not to come down without being summoned. Soon, the father and son found a more suitable hiding place, and Lin Changqing immediately released the 1st and 2nd level purple crystal scorpions. More than 100 1st level purple crystal scorpions automatically formed 3 defense circles to protect the father and son in the circle. The other 10 2nd level purple crystal scorpions were left by Lin Changqing. The father and son each put an invisibility talisman on their bodies, and then observed the surrounding situation through the golden winged bird, waiting for the right time to attack. The distance of 7 or 8 miles is enough for the patriarch and the 2 grandfathers to put on several layers of shields for themselves, and then hold all the offensive and defensive spiritual tools in their hands, ready to fight at any time. Such a short distance can actually be reached in a short time. Of course, the Li family's on-duty monks are not just eating spiritual rice. As early as the first time they were discovered, they activated the mountain protection formation. The Jiufeng Mountain of the Li family is not high, only about 150 feet high. It is a 2nd level medium-grade spiritual vein. After 5 or 6 generations of the Li family and hundreds of years of maintenance and nurturing, it was promoted to 2nd level upper-grade spiritual vein a few decades ago. The mountain protection formation is a 2nd level upper-grade thick earth evil gold formation, which is a formation with both offensive and defensive capabilities. Therefore, the clan leader and his men did not directly break into the formation, but acted aggressively and threw something directly at the mountain protection formation. With a loud bang, the sound was heard from a long distance. This attack could not cause much damage to the thick earth evil gold formation, but its main function was not to break the formation, but to show an attitude. Attacking the Li family's mountain gate right away was to prevent the Li family's cultivators from hiding in the mountain protection formation. It was an act that was not very harmful but extremely insulting. Of course, the clan leader's actions were also well thought out. After the voices calmed down a little, the voice of the clan leader sounded again, Li Yaozong, Li Yaoshan, Li Dequan, don't be cowards, come out. We have found out that it was your Li family who attacked the Lin family's foundation building cultivator Lin Maoxiang, causing him to be seriously injured and killed. At this time, The cultivator on duty in the formation retorted, "Nonsense, why would we attack your foundation-building cultivators? Instead, you came with such a fierce momentum and attacked our mountain gate as soon as you arrived. Are you trying to provoke a dispute between the two clans? You are Li Dequan, right? You are quite good at turning the tables. Don't you really know what the purpose of the sneak attack on the Lin family's foundation-building cultivators was? Don't know? I don't know why you guys kept the mountain protection formation half open? What's going on? Everyone knows it well. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Let Li Yaozong and Li Yaoshan come out. Lin Qinglong, the three of you attacked the Li family's mountain gate. If you don't give us a suitable explanation, the Zhao and Li families will never let you go." Suddenly, another voice sounded, and then the mountain protection formation cracked, and three people came out. The one who spoke just now was the patriarch of the Li family, Li Yaozong. "Li Yaozong, Li Yaoshan, you two cowards finally came out," the patriarch said with a murderous look on his face. The patriarch of the Li family frowned and said, "Can you speak properly? This is the Jiufeng mountain of the Li family. You can't do whatever you want. You said we attacked your people, then you should show evidence. Otherwise, don't shout here." At this time, another person, Li Yaoshan, the foreign affairs elder of the Li family, also said, "That's right, you have been saying that it was our Li family who attacked you, and you are a cultivator of the Lin family, so you should show evidence? If you can't show evidence, apologize to the Li family and compensate 10,000 spirit stones, just for the sake of meaning." What Li Yaozong and Li Yaoshan said, as well as their behavior of turning the tables, directly angered the patriarch and the two grandfathers. Without hesitation, they attacked Li Yaoshan directly. They wanted to focus their fire to kill one first, but unfortunately, the Li family had been on guard against the three of them. As soon as they started, the three Li family members also started to fight, although they had discussed it in advance. The six people stopped talking and immediately started fighting. The clan leader faced Li Yaozong, the grandfather had the help of the bloodthirsty thorn vine, and all faced Li Yaoshan, who was in the late stage of foundation building, and the sixth grandfather faced Li Dequan, who was in the middle stage of foundation building. Since they had already fought, no one dared to hide their skills. They all took out their full strength. The flying swords of spiritual weapons shuttled back and forth, and the spells roared continuously. However, the overall situation was still within the plan. The clan leader and the two grandfathers were moving gradually towards the direction where Lin Changqing and his son were. After a short while of fighting, the six people had left the mountain gate of the Li family by 1 or 2 miles, and they fought and killed each other, and also pulled the distance between each other. Chapter 267, Shocking Change. Lin Changqing and his son had been paying close attention to the battle situation. From the perspective of an observer, they could see it clearly. The more Lin Changqing watched, the more he felt that the three cultivators of the Li family had been consciously separating the three clan leaders. Lin Changqing couldn't help but say to his father, "Dad, did you see anything? Why do I feel that the three foundation-building cultivators of the Li family seem to have been separating the clan leader and the two grandfathers? Dad, do you have this feeling? Is there a problem here?" Father Lin Maosheng also felt something was strange. After Lin Changqing said this, he immediately discovered the problem. Now the three groups of people fighting against each other have left the Li family's mountain gate for about 3 miles, but the distance between them is more than 200 feet. Father reacted immediately and said, "Not good, the Li family has been prepared for a long time, maybe they have been waiting for us." As soon as Father finished speaking, there was a new change on the field. 3 figures rushed out from the Li family's mountain protection formation. They were all foundation-building monks wearing 2 or 3 layers of shields. After the 3 came out, they rushed to 3 battlefields respectively, and the situation on the battlefield took a sharp turn for the worse. The clan leader has a high level of cultivation and a very strong spiritual sense. In a 1-on-2 situation, although he is at a disadvantage, he can continue to fight and retreat. Grandpa has the help of the bloodthirsty thorn vine, and he can still hold on for the time being, but he is just a little embarrassed, but he is also fighting and retreating in the direction of Lin Changqing. 6th Grandpa is in danger. Suddenly there is an additional opponent, and he is already in a mess to deal with it. And he has already suffered a sword wound on his arm. The situation is very urgent. Suddenly discovering such a big change, there is not much time for Lin Changqing and his son to think. Lin Changqing hurriedly said to his father, "Dad, My 10 spirit scorpions are attached to you, and then you go to help 6th grandpa quickly. Remember to focus on fighting to save your life, and leave the rest of these spirit scorpions, go." After saying that, Lin Changqing's mind moved, and 10 second-level purple crystal scorpions quickly attached to Lin Changqing's father's back and directly concealed their bodies. Now the back looks empty, but no one can imagine that there are 10 killing gods hidden on his back. After hearing what Lin Changqing said, the father hesitated and said, "But you, alone, go quickly, 6th grandpa can't hold on. After he falls, grandpa and the clan leader will each face 3 foundation building monks. Go quickly." At the end, Lin Changqing was so anxious that he roared in a low voice. Lin Maosheng also knew that his son was right, and now he had to come to help 6th uncle hold on. He said to Lin Changqing, "Be careful." Then he posted 2 magic talismans and rushed over immediately. The battlefield was very close to them now, only 3 or 4 miles away, so Lin Maosheng quickly approached the battlefield. However, the first battlefield he approached was not the battlefield of his 6th uncle, but the battlefield of the clan leader. After all, they were father and son. When Lin Changqing attached 10 purple crystal scorpions to his back just now, he knew what his son was planning. So he slightly adjusted his route and deliberately approached the battlefield on the clan leader's side. Sure enough, when he was about 100 feet away from the clan leader, 5 purple rays of light rushed out from his back and flew towards the clan leader's location, but they stopped after flying for more than 20 feet. Then 5 uneven purple rays of light shot towards Li Yaozong, the clan leader of the Li family, one after another. At this time, Li Yaozong, the clan leader of the Li family, was still wearing 2 layers of shields, but it was useless. The first purple ray of light directly broke one shield, and there was still a lot of power left to hit the second shield. Then the second purple ray shattered the other 2 shields, and the remaining power shot directly at Li Yaozong's body. Fortunately, the green jade pendant he wore on his waist flashed 3 times in a row, and then 3 green shields appeared in front of him. It helped him block the remaining power of the second purple ray, but with the arrival of the third and fourth purple rays, the 3 green shields in front of him were all broken. Then the 5th purple ray shot at Li Yaozong's body, piercing through his abdomen, causing a 2-finger-wide penetrating injury. But this was not the most fatal. The most fatal was the soul damage that came with the purple ray. Li Yaozong let out a sharp and shrill scream on the spot. Then he fell to the ground, his whole body began to twitch violently and uncontrollably, and finally fainted. Even so, his body was still twitching unconsciously, which shows that the power of the purple ray is strong. All this happened too fast. From the time 5 purple lights burst out from Lin Maosheng's back to the time Li Yaozong, the head of the Li family, let out a sharp scream and fell to the ground, it took only 3 or 4 breaths. During these 3 or 4 breaths, Lin Maosheng only rushed out a distance of 40 or 50 feet, and then he heard this extremely sharp scream. However, when he heard that it was not the voice of his family, he did not pay too much attention, and did not dare to delay for a moment, for fear that his 6th uncle would not be able to withstand it and die. Moreover, Lin Changqing released the purple crystal scorpion, which the Li family did not know, but several people in the Lin family were more or less prepared. After the scream, the battlefield seemed to pause for a while, but the feeling was different. The 5 remaining foundation-building cultivators on the Li family side suddenly saw their family hut being attacked and fell to the ground with a scream. They did not know what was going on. They were extremely anxious. The clan leader and the 2 grandfathers were originally at a disadvantage, but suddenly a strong reinforcement came, and they defeated the clan leader of the Li family, Li Yaozong, and the situation was reversed, and they were extremely happy. However, no matter how the 2 sides felt, the fight did not stop, and Lin Maosheng continued to rush towards his 6th uncle's battlefield. After 10 breaths, he finally rushed into the range of 100 feet of his 6th uncle's battlefield, and 5 purple lights burst out from his back again. After flying forward for 20 or 30 feet, after a slight pause, purple rays shot towards Li Dequan of the Li family one after another. This time he was not so lucky. Although he still had 3 layers of shields on his body, he only blocked 2 purple rays in total. Moreover, he did not have the kind of top-grade defensive spiritual weapon that could automatically protect himself that his clan leader wore. So the remaining 3 purple rays all hid him within a breath, causing 3 penetrating wounds between his chest and abdomen. He also let out a very sharp and shrill scream, but only twice. He didn't let out the last scream and fell on the spot. This was also the first foundation-building cultivator to fall in this battle so far. But soon someone else followed in Li Dequan's footsteps. The 5 purple crystal scorpions that had just knocked out the head of the Li family, Li Yaozong, did not stay to help the head of the family. Instead, they abandoned this place, leaving the remaining enemies to the head of the family to deal with, and flew directly to the battlefield where Grandpa Lin Changqing was. Therefore, they were only a few breaths later than the 6th grandfather, and also paused for a while at a distance of 70 to 80 feet from the battlefield, and then shot purple rays at Li Yaoshan one after another. Chapter 268 Amazing Achievements. The 3 attacks of the purple crystal scorpion were all controlled by Lin Changqing, and the targets chosen were all enemies with relatively high cultivation, such as the 3 foundation-building cultivators who rushed out from the mountain protection formation later. 2 of them were in the early stage of foundation building and 1 was in the middle stage of foundation building. They were not listed as the first target of attack by Lin Changqing, because he did not like them. This Li Yaoshan looked older than my grandfather, and his cultivation was also in the late stage of foundation building, so he was chosen by Lin Changqing. However, this person's luck was really bad. The 4 purple rays fired by the purple crystal scorpion broke a total of 6 layers of his shield. That's right, he also had a top-grade defensive spiritual weapon, and he had 3 layers of shields on his body. With a top-grade defensive spiritual weapon, the 3 layers of shields that were automatically activated, a total of 6 layers, blocked 4 purple rays for him. Originally, he would have been knocked unconscious by a single blow like Li Yaozong, the head of the Li family. But when the 6 layers of shields were broken, it also bought him 1/10 of a breath of time to move his body. In fact, this little time was enough for him to move a small step, but it was because of this small step that he lost his life. The 5th purple light ray was just a little off, penetrating directly from his forehead and coming out from the back of his head. Without even a scream, Li Yaoshan was killed. Once Li Yaoshan died, the situation was completely reversed. The 3 remaining Li family monks on the field also had an intuitive judgment of the situation, which was good. The Li family was doomed. Now they had to quickly leave the battle and leave. The safest thing was to retreat to the Li family's mountain protection formation. But how could the patriarch and the 2 grandfathers let the tiger go back to the mountain? They had to fight to the fullest to keep them, and the 3 Li family members knew that if they didn't fight hard, they would die. So they took out all the means, including dozens of spiritual talismans, Xianyangzi, Yinlei beads, etc. Among the 3 battlefields, the first one was the 6th grandpa, who avoided the Li family monk and used his last desperate tricks. In the end, the man was shot and received by the 6th grandpa, his father Lin Maoshen, and 5 purple crystal scorpions. After a scream, he fell to the ground and died. The cultivator of the Li family, who was entangled with the clan leader, was so angry when he saw the clan leader and several core elders of the family die one after another. But at the same time, he also knew that if he didn't leave, he would not be able to leave when the cultivators of the Lin family came to support him. He immediately made a decision in his heart, threw a dozen talismans directly, and blasted 2 Xianyangzi at the clan leader, and bought a little time for himself. Then he gritted his teeth and immediately performed his bottom-line secret technique, the Burning Blood Spirit Light Escape Secret Technique. This secret technique is to obtain a short-term escape speed bonus by burning the blood and part of the mana in the body. The sequelae of performing this secret technique are also very large. The burned blood needs to be restored through long-term conditioning. If too much is burned, the foundation is damaged, and there is no way to advance in the future. The same is true for the burned mana, which needs to be cultivated back little by little. If too much is burned, it may even fall back to the initial stage of foundation building, and the difficulty of cultivating back in the future will increase exponentially. However, this is a life-saving secret technique that is used at the bottom of the box. Although the disadvantages are very large, it is indeed a life-saving skill. The casting speed is very fast, and the escape speed is even faster. After the secret technique was successfully cast, his whole body turned into blood-red light and shot directly towards the Li family's mountain protection formation. The distance of 3 or 4 miles passed in a flash, and he rushed in all of a sudden. The speed was too fast. Lin Changqing wanted to intercept it, but he didn't have time to react, and he still escaped successfully. This was too sudden. Everyone knew that they must run away, but they didn't expect that he would use the blood-burning secret method to escape. However, the clan leader and the 6th grandfather immediately reacted. The 4 people formed a circle, and 10 purple crystal scorpions flew at high speed outside the encirclement. 10 purple lights formed another encirclement, surrounding the last Li family monk. Everyone had a tacit understanding and knew that they had to catch a live person, so they acted very measuredly, focusing on not letting him escape. Then Lin Changqing controlled the purple crystal scorpion and shot the shield on the man one after another. Finally, the 6th grandfather released a set of circular magic tools and captured the last cultivator of the Li family on the battlefield. The battle finally came to an end. Of the 6 foundation-building cultivators of the Li family, 3 died on the spot, 2 were captured, including the patriarch of the Li family, Li Yaozong, and only 1 escaped back to the mountain protection formation. On the Lin family side, only the 6th grandfather was injured, but this kind of flesh wound did not hurt the root, and he just needed to rest for a while. This battle can be said to have wiped out all the high-level combat power of the Li family. The remaining foundation-building cultivator, because he used the blood-burning secret technique, as long as the secret technique was lifted, he must find a place to retreat and recuperate as soon as possible, so it is estimated that he will not have much combat power in a short time. At this time, the patriarch suddenly said, "Number 4, go back quickly to protect number 5, and take this prisoner with you." Father Lin Maosheng nodded quickly and agreed, "Okay, I'll go over now." After that, he picked up the prisoner on the ground and rushed quickly to the position where Lin Changqing was. At this time, Lin Changqing controlled 10 second-level purple crystal scorpions, flew to his father's back, and attached to them. He knew that there must be many people watching in the Li family's mountain protection formation, and he didn't want to be exposed casually. Although the spiritual eye technique of the key refining period could not see the details of a few miles away so clearly, it was still better to be careful. Attaching the purple crystal scorpion to his father's back would make the people of the Li family think that his father was the owner of these purple lights, and would not think of anything else, thus reducing the risk of being exposed. The patriarch looked at the corpses and spoils on the ground, and said to the 2 grandfathers, "Xiao Liu, deal with the wound on your arm first. Then, we will quickly clean up the battlefield, including taking away the corpses, and deal with the traces on the ground. We can't leave them any clues about the spiritual scorpion." The 2 grandfathers nodded in agreement, and then the 6th grandfather treated his own wounds, and the grandfather began to clean up, collecting all kinds of spiritual tools scattered on the ground, equipment and storage bags on the corpses, and even the corpses. The clan leader personally stripped off all the things on the body of Li Yaozong, the clan leader of the Li family, and tied him up tightly. Li Yaozong was just seriously injured in body and soul, and he fainted, but he was not dead. He thought about it, after all, he was the clan leader of the Li family, so he should still be of some value, so the clan leader did not kill him on the spot. Prepare to bring him back and see if you can ask him anything useful. Grandpa and 6th grandpa have also packed up, and even dealt with the traces of the battle on the ground, especially the holes in the ground made by the purple light rays, which were also flattened and destroyed by them. Of course, after today, there will definitely be many people coming to this place to look for clues, but now it is difficult for others to find any useful information here. Now there is only 1 Li family cultivator who escaped and saw those purple lights, but they have been shuttling at high speed, and he probably can't see clearly what they are. As for the people in the Li family's mountain protection formation, they should all be some key refining cultivators. Even if they use the spiritual eye technique to see, they probably can't see clearly. After the battlefield was completely cleaned up, the 3 of them carried Li Yaozong and approached the location of Lin Changqing and his son. After the 5 people reunited, Lin Changqing saw Li Yaozong, the head of the Li family, and put him in the spirit beast bag like the prisoner his father brought back just now, so that he didn't have to carry it in his hand. The patriarch readily agreed. Anyway, prisoners have no human rights, and now Li Yaozong is still in a coma, which is more convenient. Then everyone retreated dozens of miles into a dense forest. Only then did they find a more secluded place. Then the patriarch took out a second-level array plate and a bunch of array flags and began to arrange them. It took a while to arrange them. Then he said to everyone, "This is the array plate of the second-level Chaos Soul Gathering array given by my great-grandmother last time. Let's go in and rest first and recover some mana." Then everyone entered the Chaos Soul Gathering array, and the 4 foundation-building monks began to hold the middle-grade spirit stones in their hands and practice the skills to recover mana. Lin Changqing basically did not consume any, and if there was any, it might be that his spiritual consciousness consumed a little more. After all, he had been controlling the amethyst scorpion to fight, but it was not a big problem. He took the initiative to cheer up and protect the four elders, the clan leader and grandfather. Soon, the father was the first to complete the mana recovery, followed by the two grandfathers, and finally the clan leader. Chapter 269 The Truth. When sixth grandpa saw that the clan leader had finished replying, he finally couldn't help but speak. In fact, he wanted to speak just now, but the clan leader was still regulating his breathing, so in order not to disturb him, he had been forcing himself not to speak. Now he could no longer suppress the smile on his face, and said to Lin Changqing with a smile on his face, "Number 5, this time it is thanks to you, and number 4, otherwise, this old bone of mine would have been broken at the gate of the Li family's mountain." Lin Changqing quickly waved his hands and said, "Don't say that, no one would have thought that the Li family had so many foundation-building monks. They did too well on weekdays, and we were caught off guard all of a sudden." Father Lin Maosheng also said, "I saw that Li Yaozong and the others have been consciously separating you. I was just about to think of a way to remind you." Unexpectedly, another 3 foundation-building monks suddenly rushed out, and the situation on the field took a sharp turn for the worse. However, the way they acted gave me the feeling that they seemed to have known we were coming and were ready to wait for us here. At this time, grandfather also spoke, "The Li family is hiding very deeply. We can find out what's going on by asking them. Aren't there 2 prisoners here?" At this time, the clan leader also smiled and said, "This time it's really thanks to number 4 and number 5, otherwise the 3 of us should not be able to escape. After all the calculations, I didn't expect that the Zhao and Li families would catch us all in one fell swoop. This is obviously a trap, waiting for us to get in and die. If you don't believe it, check their storage bags later, and you will know that I am not wrong. Fortunately, they underestimated our strength, and we won in the end. I won't talk about the results of the battle, everyone has seen it. The most important thing is that everyone is fine, only Fang Xuan suffered a little minor injury. This will be back to normal after a period of rest." After listening to what the clan leader said, the 6th grandfather smiled and said to Lin Changqing, "Number 5, did you hear it? Didn't you say you would demonstrate it to me? I think now is the most appropriate time, otherwise, let us all see it." 6th grandpa said so. Of course Lin Changqing readily agreed. Anyway, he has done a lot of this kind of thing, and he can be said to be experienced. It's just that they used to deal with key refining cultivators, and now they have changed to foundation establishment cultivators. I believe there won't be too many problems. He nodded to his father, signaling him to let the man out of the spirit beast bag. That's right. The man was in his father's spirit beast bag. Just now, when he went to meet up with Lin Changqing, he was carrying the captive who was in the early stage of foundation building. Lin Changqing thought he was too much of a nuisance. He suggested that his father knock it out and put it in the spirit beast bag. After all, if the spirit beast can survive, so can people. It's just that he will definitely be very uncomfortable, but who made him a captive? No one here cares about the feelings of the captives. The father smiled and wiped his spirit beast bag, and then the foundation building captive trapped by 5 round magic tools appeared on the ground. Lin Changqing stood up and walked over, looking at the numb captive on the ground. After he hesitated for a moment, he said directly, "You have seen the situation now, so it's better for you to cooperate. Whatever I ask, you just answer honestly. If you answer wrong or don't answer, you will be punished. I believe you don't want to experience this kind of punishment. Think about the reaction of your clan leader just now, and you will know how painful he is. There is no need to experience it yourself. What do you think?" After listening to what Lin Changqing said, the captive on the ground stared at Lin Changqing with his eyes, and said hatefully, "You don't have to waste your thoughts, I will not betray the family." Lin Changqing looked at him like this, shook his head gently and said, "I'm sorry, the answer is wrong. Let you experience what your clan leader felt just now." After that, he raised his hand and released a first-level purple crystal scorpion, and was about to let it go up to hit the captive. Suddenly he remembered something and said to everyone, "Everyone, cover your ears, or use magic power to block your hearing. The sound will be harsh later." Then he thought about it, and the purple crystal scorpion climbed onto the captive and stabbed him hard at the base of his thigh. A sharp and extremely shrill scream echoed in the magic circle. Although his body was surrounded by 5 circular magic tools, the captive still arched his body into a bridge, and then fell heavily to the ground, and then began to twitch violently. He began to sweat all over, and his clothes were soon soaked, and then he gasped for breath. Lin Changqing chuckled at sixth grandpa, and Lin Fangxian understood the meaning of this smile instantly. Seeing the reaction of the captive who was stung, he couldn't help but think that if he was stung by accident that day, he might really remember it for the rest of his life. He couldn't help but shudder. After a while, Lin Changqing saw that the captive had basically recovered, and asked directly, "Are you willing to communicate now? If not, we will give you another shot and keep stinging you until you are willing to talk." The captive finally recovered, and really didn't want to suffer this torture anymore, so he said in a hoarse voice, "Ask me. I will tell you everything I know." Lin Changqing suppressed his excitement, nodded and said, "What's your name? What's the name of the cultivator with the mid-stage foundation building who escaped?" This question was very simple. Li Denning didn't hesitate and answered directly, "My name is Li Denning, and the one who escaped is Zhao Changfeng, the foundation building cultivator of the Zhao family." Li Denning's vocal cords were greatly damaged because of the scream just now. Now he speaks word by word, which is very uncomfortable to listen to, but there is no way, he can only listen like this. Hearing that it was the foundation building cultivator of the Zhao family, the clan leader and grandfather looked at each other, and several people communicated silently with their eyes. Lin Changqing nodded and continued to ask, "Lin Maoxiang, the foundation building cultivator of the Lin family, was ambushed by which family? Tell me the details." Hearing this question, the captive Li Denning remained silent. Seeing him like this, Lin Changqing knew that he needed to add fuel to the fire, and said, "We must have confirmed that it was you who did it, so we came to the Li family to ask for an explanation. And you dared to kill the foundation building cultivator of the Li family without hesitation. That's why we know that it must be you two families who did it. Now I ask you just to know which family did it and what the situation was at that time. If you don't tell me, you will suffer." After saying that, with a thought, the purple crystal scorpion began to slowly crawl towards him, preparing to give him another shot, of course, also to scare him. After listening to Lin Changqing's words, Li Denning looked at the spirit scorpion crawling towards him, and couldn't help shuddering. He quickly said, "It was indeed our two families who attacked your foundation building cultivators. The Zhao family and the Li family joined forces, and each family sent out 3 foundation building cultivators to set up an ambush between the market town and the Lin family's Jiufeng mountain. There were 2 foundation building cultivators in each group, and there were 3 ambush locations in total. Whenever we encountered a cultivator from the Lin family, we ambushed them. We didn't expect that the first attack would fail, so the 6 of us quickly withdrew. Your people encountered Li Dequan and Zhao Fuwen, but they both died in the battle just now." Chapter 270 For the family's survival. Hearing him say this, everyone in the Lin family was very angry. They were not just ambushing the Lin family's foundation building cultivators, but were also preparing to not let go of the Lin family's key refining cultivators. Sixth grandpa couldn't help but come over and beat him to death, but fortunately he was stopped by Lin Changqing's grandfather and father. If it weren't for the 14th uncle's decisiveness, seeing that the situation was not right, and rushing out desperately, allowing them to continue to ambush the Lin family's key refining cultivators there, it might not be just 1 or 2 people who were killed, but dozens of people, because ordinary key refining cultivators couldn't even run away when they met them, and the consequences were really unimaginable. Lin Changqing was also furious. After forcing himself to hold back his anger, he continued to ask, "Why did you do this?" Li Denning glanced at Lin Changqing before he spoke. "For the family, for survival. I believe that if we swap positions, you will do the same." In this beast tide, all 13 foundation building families in Pingyang Prefecture accepted the call of Qingyang sect. However, only the Lin family did not suffer much loss. I even heard that you exchanged several foundation building pills. As for the other 12 families, which one did not suffer heavy casualties? The least died 40 or 50 clansmen, and the rest were basically all injured. As many as the Li family in Yunnan County, the 2 foundation building cultivators who led the team, and more than 80 clansmen died on the spot. The remaining dozen clansmen were saved with the rescue of Qingyang sect, but they were all seriously injured. It can be said that the whole army was annihilated. The Zhao and Li families also lost a foundation building cultivator and 50 or 60 clansmen, which broke the original balance. At the very least, the balance between our families and your Lin family must have been broken. In addition, you have exchanged several foundation building pills. If you allow the Lin family to develop freely and ignore it, I believe you will soon have 7 or 8 foundation-building cultivators. In this way, the strength of the Lin family may even leap to the top of Pingyang Prefecture. At that time, the living space and resources of our families will be impacted and compressed. So no matter what, we must limit the development speed of the Lin family, and killing your clansmen is undoubtedly the best choice. Everyone took a little time to digest what Li Denning said. After a while, the patriarch asked, "It seems that you should have contacted the Yunayang Li family? What is their attitude?" Li Denning nodded and said, "That's right. Both the Zhao and Li families sent people to contact them, but they were rejected. However, they promised not to leak the information of our 2 families, which is considered to be neutral." Lin Maosheng couldn't help but said, "Bullshit. What do you mean by neutrality? This Li family doesn't have any good intentions. I think they are just sitting on the mountain and watching the tigers fight." This statement was agreed by everyone in the Lin family. The clan leader continued to ask, "Tell me why the Li family has so many foundation-building cultivators? And how did you know we were coming? Since the 7th elder Li Yaoxian died in the beast tide, the only 3 people left in the Li family are clan leader Li Yaozong, foreign affairs elder Li Yaoxian, and Li Dequan. I only succeeded in building my foundation 2 or 3 years ago, and the clan leader asked me to hide temporarily as the family's trump card, so there are only 4 of us including me. The other 2 were sent by the Zhao family to support us. We didn't know when you would come, but we knew that you would definitely find your way to the Li family, so we have been waiting here. We have also formulated some coping methods, and the separation tactics were also discussed in advance, because we calculated that at most 3 of you would come. And we have 6 people on our side, and we are ready to use the advantage in numbers to leave at least 1 or 2 of you, so that we can basically maintain a balance." "You are really calculating. Why don't you just destroy the Lin family as well?" 6th Grandpa said unhappily. "We don't have this idea, and we are not sure we can break through the Lin family's 3rd-level mountain protection formation. We just want to maintain a good balance again." Li Denning simply gave up and said whatever he wanted. The clan leader glanced at him and suddenly asked, "That is to say, there are only you and Li Yaozong left in the Li family who are in the foundation building period? There are no foundation building cultivators in the Li family in Jiufeng Mountain." After hearing the clan leader's question, Li Denning's face looked very ugly and a little sad. Finally, he sighed and said, "Yes, if the clan leader and I die, the Li family will have no foundation building cultivators. I know that the clan leader has also been captured by you. You can make a condition. As long as the Li family can redeem the clan leader, as long as we have it, we are willing to take it out." The clan leader did not express his opinion, but continued to ask, "What can you take out? To compensate for the fault of killing the foundation-building cultivator of the Lin family? What can you take out to redeem your clan leader?" Li Denning shook his head and said, "It hasn't been long since I successfully built my foundation, and I haven't participated in the management of the family before. Many things in the clan are not very clear, and there are things that I don't know even more. Isn't our clan leader in your hands? You should talk to him face to face." After hearing what he said, the scene fell into silence, and no one spoke. On the contrary, Li Denning, fearing that the Lin family would not agree to let the Li family redeem the patriarch, hurriedly continued, "As long as the Li family can redeem the patriarch, it will not let the family fall into the state of key refining. I believe that as long as the Li family has something, they will definitely be willing to take it out." The patriarch still had a blank expression on his face, turned to Lin Changqing and said to his father, "Mao Shen, knock him out first and put him in the spirit beast bag." "Now is not the time to talk about this," Lin Maosheng quickly agreed, then knocked Li Denning out and put him in the spirit beast bag. Now, there are only people from the Lin family left in the magic circle, and it was Lin Changqing who broke the silence. "Patriarch, what should we do next?" Lin Changqing asked directly. The patriarch thought about it for a while, and then said, "What else can we do? Of course, we will go back to the family first." Lin Changqing's father couldn't help but say, Are we going back now? Are we letting the Li family go just like that?" The clan leader glared at him and said unhappily, "Why stay here if you don't go back? Although there are no foundation-building cultivators in the Li family's ancestral mountain, there is still a Zhao family member who escaped and returned, Zhao Chengfen. If we forcefully break the formation, the Li family will definitely ask Zhao Chengfeng to come out and preside over the formation, and we may suffer losses at that time. Even if we finally break through their mountain protection formation, We will definitely have to pay a lot of price. The most important thing is that we have no intention of destroying the Li family this time, so we did not bring other key refining clan members. With just a few of us, there will definitely be a lot of fish that slip through the net, and then there will be a lot of trouble. Why not maintain the status quo first? And even if we overcome the problems mentioned above and really destroy the Li family, have you ever considered what the remaining 11 foundation building families in Pingyang Prefecture will think? Will they be afraid of this, or even exclude the Lin family? Will they unite to deal with the Lin family under the connection of those who are interested? Have you ever thought about these? The Lin family is still very weak now, and we shouldn't spend our energy fighting with these foundation building families. This will only waste the opportunity that Kinger has worked so hard to earn. This is not what I want to see. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 271, Spoils of War. Grandpa also spoke up at this time. The clan leader is right. It will not be good for us to destroy the Li family now. It will only completely break the balance that everyone has been tacitly maintaining, and directly push our Lin family to the forefront. In the future, all the foundation building families in Pingyang Prefecture will intentionally or unintentionally target us, and even form alliances to restrict and strangle us. Therefore, considering all aspects, the Li family cannot be destroyed, at least not now. When the Lin family has a purple mansion cultivator, even if the Zhao and Li families are destroyed at once, the other families will not dare to do anything, and they may even take the initiative to come and cheer for us. It is better to go back now and make trouble for the clan leader of the Li family and that Li Bening, and see if we can get more resources back for the family. This is the real benefit. The clan leader looked at Grandpa with relief and said, 11, what you said is very good. It can be regarded as a sharp point. I feel relieved that you have this insight. 6th Grandpa was still a little indignant, and couldn't help but say, it's a bargain for the Li family. When I thought that they were going to not let go of even ordinary key refining clan members, I wanted to chop them all up. At this time, the clan leader suddenly had an idea, and said to the 6th grandfather Lin Fangsun with a smile, Xiao Liu. If you are still angry, then you can deal with these 2 captives. As long as you don't kill them, you can do whatever you want, and by the way, get as many resources as possible from them for the family. When the 6th grandfather heard this, he was overjoyed. The clan leader's task was exactly what he wanted, and he quickly said, don't worry, clan leader. Leave it to me, and I will guarantee to squeeze them to the maximum extent. The clan leader nodded, and continued, in the battle just now, Kinger and the spirit scorpion in his hand, everyone saw it. It played a crucial role, and it can even be said to be a game changer. So what I mean is that no matter how many resources Xiaoliu gets from the Li family this time, take out 30% to support Xiao Kinger in cultivating these spirit scorpions, and the remaining 70% will be put into the clan's public account. What do you think? 6th Grandpa was the first to speak. I completely agree with the opinion of the clan leader. Kinger and the spirit scorpion in his hand are indeed the biggest trump cards of the clan. I think we should support them more, at least half of the resources. This may allow these little guys to grow faster. Grandpa also nodded and said, these little guys have indeed made great contributions this time, and they should definitely be rewarded. But 6th brother said to give half of the resources. I think it's too much. And it's not easy to explain to the clan members. Why not give 10% or 20%? It's not appropriate to give more. Lin Changqing's father also said, I have no objection. These little guys have indeed made great contributions. The clan leader, you can discuss how much resources to give. In the end, only Lin Changqing himself did not express his opinion. To be honest, he really looked down on these melons and 2 dates, but it's better to have something than nothing. So he said, thank you, clan leader and 6th grandpa. Otherwise, just follow what my grandfather said and give 10% or 20%. When I don't have enough resources in the future, I will tell the clan leader. The clan leader shook his head and said, no need to refuse. I decided to give 30% of the resources. If it's not enough, tell me later. Since the clan leader has made the decision, no one said anything. Lin Changqing's heart moved, and he hurriedly said, clan leader, can you exchange the 30% of resources for second-level low-grade spirit crystals at that time? so that it is convenient to feed them directly, so that I don't have to go out to buy them myself." The clan leader nodded and said, "These are all small problems. Let your third grandfather arrange it for you when the time comes." Lin Changqing was overjoyed and nodded in agreement. The clan leader continued, "While it's still early, we just have one each. Let's refine these storage bags and see if there are any good things in these spoils." Hearing this, everyone agreed happily, and then everyone took a storage bag and began to refine it. Lin Changqing had done the most of this work and could be considered the most experienced. However, he had only used key refining stage storage bags before, and this was his first time using foundation establishment stage storage bags. This made Lin Changqing somewhat excited. Although Lin Changqing's spiritual awareness was not weak, it was still a little bit behind that of a true foundation establishment stage cultivator, so he was the last one to complete the storage bag sacrifice. Seeing that there were already 4 piles of things on the ground, Lin Changqing also poured out the things in his storage bag. Then everyone started to sort them together. Because there were so many people, they were sorted out in a short while. There were quite a lot of things. First of all, there were spirit stones. No high-grade spirit stones were found, but there were about 300 medium-grade spirit stones and about 40,000 low-grade spirit stones. There were about 30 spirit tools of various levels, including 2 of the most precious, spirit storage type top-grade defense methods, 2 extreme weapon flying swords, 3 spirit tool flying boats, and more than 20 other medium and high-grade attack and defense spirit tools. One of the flying boats is the same as the Lin family's fencing boat. It is a medium-sized flying boat that can transport dozens of cultivators at a time. It can barely transport hundreds of people if they squeeze in. As for the remaining 2, they are small flying boats. There are a lot of pills. It seems that there are about 100 or 20 bottles. Many of them are pills used to increase mana during the foundation building period. For example, the Jiufeng pill, which is suitable for the early stage of foundation building, is an advanced version of the Juki pill used in the key refining period. There are also peeling pills suitable for the middle stage of foundation building, Dingling pills suitable for the late stage of foundation building, Huayang pills for healing, and even Lin Changqing saw 2 bottles of Liangxin pills, which were the ones he first entrusted his 6th grandfather to refine. There are also some scattered pills with other special effects, which are not small. Next are 160 or 70 jade boxes, a dozen books and several jade slips. The rest are daily necessities, clothes and sundries, and so on. In fact, most of the spiritual objects here were provided free of charge by Li Yaozong, the head of the Li family, and Li Yaoshan, the elder of foreign affairs. The owners of the other 3 storage bags were all in the early or middle stages of foundation building. There were not too many spiritual objects in them, especially the storage bags of the 2 early foundation building monks, which did not have many things. After looking at these spoils, everyone looked at the clan leader, waiting for him to come up with a distribution plan. The clan leader was looking at the things on the ground. Lin Changqing guessed that he should be estimating their value. After a while, the clan leader said, "Okay, I have a rough idea of how much these things are worth. By the way, just now on the flying boat, I promised to give Xiao Kinger an extra layer of spoils. Do you have any objections?" The 2 grandfathers shook their heads to indicate that they had no objection, and Lin Changqing's father certainly would not object. Seeing that everyone agreed, the clan leader continued, "I feel that there is something that is quite suitable for Xiao Kinger, and it is definitely worth 10% of the spoils of war." After that, he took out a green jade pendant and a golden seal from the pile of spiritual weapons. He said to Lin Changqing, "These 2 things can be regarded as the best among these war items. Both are top-grade defensive spiritual weapons, and they can automatically activate 3 layers of defensive shields. You have seen their functions and powers yourself, so I don't need to say more. Now I ask you to choose one of the 2, and it will be regarded as the spoils of war that I promised to give you." Lin Changqing was quite happy to hear this. After thanking the clan leader, he thought about it and chose the golden seal. In fact, when he saw this obviously gold-attributed top-grade defensive spiritual weapon, he had an idea in his mind. The clan leader nodded and continued, "These books and jade slips, everyone will be on the flying boat later. You can take a look when you have time. If you are interested, you can make a copy yourself, and the original will be sent to the family scripture pavilion. Let's also take that medium-sized flying boat into the family. It's a waste for one person to use a medium-sized flying boat." It will be much more convenient to have one more medium-sized flying boat in the future. Also, select 2 medium-grade spiritual tools, one for attack and one for defense, and leave them to Xiao. She is stationed in the family's mountain protection formation, which allows us to go out with peace of mind. Since the results of this battle are not small, she should get some benefits. I roughly estimated the remaining spiritual stones, elixirs, and spiritual tools. Each person can get spiritual objects worth about 35,000 spiritual stones. In order to save time, I will consider your respective cultivation and needs and distribute them. The insufficient part will be supplemented with spiritual stones. Do you have any objection? Everyone nodded to show that they had no objection. Chapter 272, 9 Mountains Thick Earth Sutra. Among them, Lin Changqing's father was the most excited. This time he earned spiritual objects worth 35,000 spiritual stones. It was the biggest gain since he started cultivating immortals, so he was very much looking forward to it. Then the clan leader began to distribute the spiritual objects. With a plan in mind, he soon divided all the things into 5 piles. Pointing to the pile closest to 6th Grandpa, he said, 6th Grandpa. This pile is yours. I think your attack power is pretty good among the cultivators of the same level. It's just that your defense is a little lacking, otherwise you wouldn't have been injured this time. So I made the decision to give you that top-grade defensive spiritual weapon, as well as a small flying boat, which will be considered as replacing your magic weapon and flying boat. Add to that some mid to high-grade spiritual weapons, and a small portion of elixirs for the middle stage of the foundation establishment period, and finally 50 mid-grade spirit stones. 6th Grandpa nodded, smiled and said, "Thank you, clan leader. You've considered it so carefully for me. I also feel that I'm indeed a little lacking in defense." The clan leader's way of distribution has taken all aspects into consideration. It's really good. Then 6th Grandpa put his own spoils into the storage bag that he had just refined. The clan leader nodded, looked at Lin Changqing's grandfather, and said, 11. I see that you have the assistance of the 2nd level bloodthirsty thorn vine, and your defense is pretty good. Among the same level, you are outstanding. So I decided to allocate you a top-grade flying sword, plus a few mid to high-grade spiritual weapons, and most of the elixirs used in the middle stage of the building period are also allocated to you. Anyway, Xiao was an alchemist, he will definitely not lack elixirs. Finally, there are 50 mid-grade spirit stones. Grandpa also smiled and said, "Thank you, clan leader, this is good." After that, he put his things into the storage bag. Then the clan leader continued to say to Lin Changqing's father, "Mao Shen, the pile in front of you is yours. Considering that you have just succeeded in the foundation building period not long ago, you are allocated medium and low-grade spiritual tools and a small flying boat. All the elixirs for the primary stage of the foundation building period and the improvement of cultivation are also given to you this time. I will give you another 100 medium-grade spiritual stones and 10,000 low-grade spiritual stones." After hearing the clan leader's words, Lin Maosheng was overjoyed. After a rough estimate, the things in it were close to 38,000 spiritual stones. This was obviously because the clan leader took into account that he had just successfully built his foundation and must be short of money, so he took special care of him. He hurriedly thanked the clan leader and put the things away. Finally, the clan leader looked at Lin Changqing with a smile and said, "Xiao Kinger, you are a great contributor to our Lin family. Among the spoils of war this time, there are not many things suitable for the key refining stage. So I only left you 4 mid to low grade spiritual weapons, 2 for attack and 2 for defense, plus some elixirs that can also be used in the key refining stage, and the remaining more than 30,000 low-grade spiritual stones, all of which are yours." After Lin Changqing thanked the clan leader with a smile, he put away all the things. After all, even a little bit of money is still money, and it should not be wasted. Besides, this was income from regular channels, and no one would doubt it if he used it. The clan leader continued, "Then the last pile is mine. This golden flying sword, the elixir that increases mana in the late stage of foundation building, and these 100 medium-grade spirit stones belong to me. Each of the remaining jade boxes will take 30, and the rest will be given to Xiao Kinger. It depends on your luck what you get." Everyone agreed happily, and then each took 30 jade boxes. In the end, there were still 30 or 40 jade boxes left, which belonged to Lin Changqing. He also put them into his storage bag and took back the purple crystal scorpion that he had just released. Seeing that Lin Changqing had put away everything, The clan leader said, "Okay, everyone come and help collect the formation flags. We are going back to Jiufeng Mountain. Everyone should hurry up, otherwise it will be dark when we return to the ancestral mountain." Then everyone worked together, took out the formation flags, and then boarded the wind-traveling boat released by the flag leader and set off towards the Lin family's Jiufeng Mountain. In the sky, there were several golden winged birds like Chuai accompanying them all the way, and their safety was greatly guaranteed. It took several hours to go back, so apart from the clan leader controlling the wind boat, the other four took out a dozen books and jade slips to check if there was anything they needed. Unexpectedly, at the beginning, Grandpa exclaimed, obviously he had found something good. Sixth Grandpa asked quickly, 11th brother, have you found anything good? Grandpa was still checking the contents of the jade slip on his forehead. After a while, he said with a smile on his face, 6th brother, of course it is a good thing. The discovery of the Li family's Chifen Houta Sutra, which can be practiced to the great perfection of the Jingguiden period, should be considered a good harvest. This time the family's foundation has increased again. Lin Changqing was a little surprised to hear the name, so he asked, was this technique created by the ancestors of the Li family? It was named after the Li family's ancestral mountain, Jiufeng Mountain. Hearing Lin Changqing's question, the clan leader and the two grandfathers laughed, and then the sixth grandpa explained, although the Li family established a family 100 or 200 years earlier than our Lin family. But this technique was not created by the Li family. Their ancestors were also inner disciples of the Qingyuan sect in the end, due to various reasons. After the Jinden was hopeless, they applied to create a family. Therefore, it is basically impossible that it was created by the ancestors of the Li family. This should be the 9 Mountains Thick Earth Sutra of the Qingyuan sect, but the Li family was shameless and changed it to Jiufeng Thick Earth Sutra. Lin Changqing was stunned. There is actually such a shameless family. It really broadens his horizons. At this time, the father also spoke. He raised his hand and said, I have good news here too. The jade slip in my hand records the experience of the Li family in practicing the Jiufeng Thick Earth Sutra for generations. It can be regarded as a configuration with that technique. In the future, if someone in the family practices it, it can also achieve twice the result with half the effort. The patriarch also said with a smile, it seems that our luck is really good. Li Yaozong probably thinks that we are sure to win. So, before leaving the mountain protection formation, he didn't put away this family core inheritance. It deserves to fall into our hands. Anyway, they are all Li's things. If you want to copy them, hurry up. Remember to send these 2 original jade slips back to the Sutra Pavilion where you live. Everyone quickly agreed and started to copy them. Lin Changqing also copied 1 of each. Now in his inner space, Su Minyang is building a foundation. It happens that she is practicing the Earth Attribute technique. This Jiufeng Thick Earth Sutra is just right for her, and there are also these matching experience, which is even better. Also, I can make a copy for Zhao Linyu at that time. Lin Changqing promised to make 2 Jinden stage exercises for her before. This 9 Mountains Thick Earth Sutra is just right. I will find another one for her later, and that will be considered as fulfilling my promise to her. The remaining dozen books and jade slips are nothing. They are either ordinary second-level exercises, and the upper limit of cultivation is only the foundation building great perfection. Or they are the practice notes of those people. Although they have some use, they are all relatively common things. At most, they can only serve as a reference. If you really need them in the future, you can go to the Sutra Pavilion to check them out. Therefore, Lin Changqing did not waste time copying them. After everyone copied what they were interested in, the original books and jade slips were all handed over to the clan leader, who would hand them over to the Sutra Pavilion. 6th grandfather Lin Fangxuan came to Lin Changqing and said to him, Zio Kinger, I see that those spirit scorpions of yours are really powerful in stinging people. Please lend me 1 or 2. I will give them to Li Yaozong, the head of the Li family, to let him taste the power of these spirit scorpions. I will feel uncomfortable if I don't torture him a little. It was a bit unexpected for him that 6th grandfather came to borrow the amethyst scorpions, but fortunately, he only borrowed 1 or 2. After thinking about it, Lin Changqing agreed. Chapter 273, each has its own joys and sorrows. He put 2 first-level purple crystal scorpions in a spirit beast bag and gave them some instructions through the contract. Then he handed them over to 6th grandpa Lin Fangxuan, and told him how to use and feed the purple crystal scorpion. And the 2 of them got together. In fact, Sixth Grandpa specifically asked Lin Changqing for advice, mainly the experience of forcing a purple crystal scorpion to confess. Lin Changqing had the most experience in this area, and he passed it all on to Sixth Grandpa without reservation. And it was also emphasized that if a cultivator in the key refining stage was stung more than 3 times in a short period of time, he might die of pain. The cultivators in the foundation establishment stage have not been tested yet, but they must also be careful not to kill people, otherwise it would be a waste of effort. Sixth Grandpa recorded this carefully, because he didn't want that kind of accident to happen, which would lead to all the previous efforts being wasted. The patriarch urged the fencing boat to move forward quickly, and finally returned to the Lin family's ancestral mountain Jiufeng mountain before the sky was dark. This way back, it can be said that it was calm and peaceful, nothing happened, and they returned to Jiufeng mountain smoothly. When Feng Xingzhao approached the family mountain protection formation, it scared Aunt Lin Maoding. She thought something had happened. Did it go wrong? Why did they set out in the morning and come back in the evening? Fortunately, after asking, she knew that Lin Changqing and his team had won a great victory. She immediately smiled happily. She pulled Lin Changqing to her side, pinched his cheek, and said happily, "Kinger, did your spirit scorpions achieve any results this time?" As soon as the voice fell, the patriarch and the 2 grandfathers laughed. Lin Changqing's father also smiled and said, "Kinger's spirit scorpions have made a big splash this time. The results are so great that you dare not imagine." The patriarch also said with a smile, "Ziotinger, I'll give you a chance to guess. If you can guess 5 or 6 layers, I'll give you some benefits. I'll give you a hint, feel free to guess boldly, and guess big." Aunt Lin Maoding's eyes lit up when she heard the patriarch's words, not because of the benefits the patriarch said, but because she had already guessed it. This time, the clan leader and his men should have achieved a very brilliant victory. This is of vital importance to the Lin family. But now the clan leader is obviously going to give her a benefit, so she can't let it go. Seeing that everyone is smiling, she suddenly had an idea and blurted out, "You didn't catch all the foundation building cultivators of the Li family." As soon as these words came out, the clan leaders all laughed. Lin Changqing also said with a smile, "Aunt is amazing. She guessed it right at once. Not only that, we also killed a foundation building cultivator from the Zhao family." This time Lin Maoding was really stunned. She had made that bold guess at random after being reminded by the clan leader. She specifically guessed the biggest one, but she didn't expect to guess it right at once. The clan leader took out the 2 medium-level spiritual weapons that had been reserved just now with a smile, and handed them to Lin Maoding. "Ziotinger, take them. These 2 were originally reserved for you." Aunt took them happily and thanked the clan leader. "Great. Thank you, clan leader, you are so wise and brave." The clan leader returned to the family, and the smile on his face never stopped. It was obvious that he was in a very good mood because of the brilliant results of this battle. He ordered everyone go back and rest first. Meet up at my retreat place tomorrow, and we will discuss the next countermeasures. Then Lin Changqing and his son, grandfather and grandson, said goodbye to the clan leader and the 6th grandfather, and returned to their own yard. Aunt had to return to the core of the mountain protection formation and continue to guard it until tomorrow, when Lin Changqing's father would take over her. On the other side, the people of the Li family, after waiting for several hours, finally couldn't bear it anymore, and sent people out to explore, and finally confirmed that the people of the Lin family had left. Zhao Chengfeng of the Zhao family only supported the Li family's mountain protection formation for an hour before he couldn't stand it anymore. After confirming that the Lin family's cultivators did not continue to attack the Li family's mountain protection formation, he directly interrupted the secret technique and found a safe place to retreat and recuperate. He has done his best to hold on for the Li family until now, and he has reached his limit. If he persists, his foundation will be damaged. As soon as Zhao Chengfeng left, the remaining elders of the Li family who had reached the great perfection of key training were all like bereaved parents. The dozens of key training clansmen who were summoned to help guard the formation were also confused and at a loss, not knowing what to do. Some cultivators even burst into tears. It is estimated that they were the family members of the 2 unlucky ones who had been confirmed dead. According to Zhao Chengfeng's description, the 4 foundation building cultivators of the Li family have been confirmed dead, including the foreign affairs elders Li Yaoshan and Li Dequan. As for their clan leader Li Yaozong, they only knew that he was seriously injured and fell unconscious. His life or death was unknown. The most troublesome thing was that there was no way to confirm the situation further. As for Li Denning, they saw with their own eyes and confirmed that he was captured. In just a few hours, the high-level cultivators of the Li family were captured in one fell swoop. From one of the 13 foundation-building families in Pingyang Prefecture, they were directly degraded to a key refining family. This made everyone in the Li family confused. In the end, it was the oldest and most powerful elder of the family, Li Yaoxiang, who stood up and forced all the clan members present to swear that they were forbidden to spread the news, lest other clan members knew about it, and the people's hearts were scattered, and the family was in danger of falling apart. Afterwards, 6 or 7 family elders began to discuss ways to deal with it directly in the family's mountain protection formation. In the end, it was mainly divided into 3 methods. The first was to contact the Lin family, apologize to them with gifts, and ease the conflict with the Lin family. By the way, see if the clan leader or Li Denning can be redeemed, so that at least 1 or 2 foundation-building cultivators can guard the Li family. Another method is that the clan leader and Li Denning, who fell into the hands of the Lin family, would inevitably be controlled or threatened. They should temporarily ignore them, and use the power of the whole clan to find 1 or 2 clan members who are most likely to build a foundation, and fully support them in building a foundation. In this way, at least the Li family has a foundation-building cultivator, and there will be no crisis of disintegration, and they can wait until they are strong in the future to seek revenge on the Lin family. The last method is that they think they should unite with the Zhao family now, and then contact Pingyang Mansion and the other 10 foundation-building families. Make the strength of the Lin family public, and everyone will unite to deal with the Lin family to prevent the Lin family from dominating. In the end, it even became the Purple Mansion family. At that time, the families bordering the Lin family will definitely be in big trouble. 6 or 7 people quarreled in a brawl, and no one convinced anyone. But in the end, it was the great elder who came forward and directly denied the third method, and emphasized that the current crisis of the Li family was caused by the third method. Originally, everyone was a neighbor, and there had been constant small frictions, but no major conflicts, so it was considered peaceful. It was because someone put forward this view that the Zhao and Li families came into direct conflict with the Lin family regardless of everything. And their own high-level cultivators were almost completely destroyed. Now the family is on the verge of disintegration. There are still people who insist on these views. It's really nonsense. If they continue to be enemies with the Lin family, as long as the Lin family sends people to guard the gate of the Li family, or kill the Li family's key refining period members, the Li family will be in danger of destruction. So now, the first method is the most feasible, which is to ease the conflict with the Lin family and try to redeem their own patriarch, and of course Li Denning. Regardless of whether Li Yaozong can continue to serve as the patriarch in the future, at least he himself is a late-stage foundation-building fighter. This is still very important for the current Li family, and it is impossible to give up casually. Chapter 274 Someone is going to be disappointed. At the same time, the second method must also be carried out simultaneously to prevent the person from being redeemed and the Li family from having no foundation-building cultivators to guard. The last question is who will come forward to contact the Lin family. Everyone present knows that the Lin family is now in a hostile state with their Li family. It is very dangerous to take the initiative to go to the Lin family to pay homage now. There has never been a saying in the world of immortal cultivation that envoys will not be killed. 6 or 7 people discussed for a long time, but there was no result. No one was willing to go to Lin Wan. The stalemate was there. In the end, the great elder Li Wangxian couldn't stand it anymore and stood up himself. After confirming the candidates for the mountain visit, the rest will be much easier. Since they are going to the Lin family to ask for peace, they will definitely not go empty-handed. After all, they were the ones who started it and killed a foundation-building cultivator of the Lin family. If they can't come up with something that satisfies the Lin family, it would be in vain to go. Moreover, redeeming the clan leader and Li Denning would not be possible with empty words, so this was another long discussion. At the Lin family, Lin Changqing and his son, grandfather and grandson returned to their own yard. Their mother and sister were overjoyed to see that they had completed their mission and returned safely. They set out in the morning and came back in the evening, which took only a dozen hours in total. This was really fast. The happiest one was the younger sister Lin Changqing. Seeing her brother coming back, she jumped directly into Lin Changqing's arms, because she knew that she would soon be able to go to the market to play for 3 days. So, she had to please her brother Lin Changqing first, lest he change his mind. Lin Changqing guessed Lin Changqing's little thought, and could only promise her that he would take her to the market to play after this matter was over. Then the father told the mother and sister about the mission. Of course, the focus was definitely on what kind of results they had achieved. Hearing that Lin Changqing and his team had used the second-order purple crystal scorpion to wipe out all the high-level cultivators of the Li family, the mother and daughter were stunned and a little bit unbelievable. Although they knew that the second-order purple crystal scorpion was very powerful, they did not expect it to be so powerful. This was far beyond their imagination. This gave them a new understanding of the power of the purple crystal scorpion. After sharing the general experience of this mission with his mother and sister, the family chatted for a while, and Lin Changqing went back to his room to rest. To be honest, I was still a little tired today, mainly because my spiritual consciousness consumed a lot. After all, I had to concentrate my mind and control those second-order purple crystal scorpions. However, I only needed to rest for a night. But before that, I had to complete today's practice task of the Thunder Sutra. The value of practice is persistence. Little by little, it will give Lin Changqing the best reward one day. The next morning, after Lin Changqing completed his practice, he went to find his grandfather, and his father was going to take over from his aunt Lin Maoting and continue to guard the mountain protection formation. Originally, they were going to go to the clan leader together, but Grandpa said that the clan leader was practicing now, so it was too early to go there. In this case, the grandfather and grandson were drinking tea and chatting in Grandpa's yard. Lin Changqing suddenly had an idea. He took out the golden seal that the clan leader gave him yesterday, handed it to Grandpa, and said, "Grandpa, please find a chance to help me give this top-grade defensive spiritual weapon to my second uncle. He needs this thing more when he walks outside, and it's a waste to leave it with me." Grandpa looked at the thing in his hand, frowned, and then said, "Do you know that this is specially given to you by the clan leader? He gave it to you because he was worried about your safety." Lin Changqing chuckled and said, "I roughly understood what the clan leader meant at the time, but I really didn't need it. I have a similar defensive spiritual weapon, the Thunder Shield, which I have used as a talisman. After refining it, I put it in the Thunder Acupoint. If you don't believe me, take a look." After speaking, he flipped his hand, and a shield spiritual weapon with a hint of thunder appeared in Lin Changqing's hand. Then, another green jade pendant with the same aura of thunder appeared. Grandpa looked at it and nodded, motioning Lin Changqing to take back the two talismans, and then he said, "Okay. I'll leave this thing here first, and I'll give it to your second uncle when I have the chance." Lin Changqing said happily, "Thank you, Grandpa. By the way, I'll tell him to be careful." Grandpa smiled and nodded, "I know, I'll tell you. By the way, when you get to the clan leader, look more, listen more, and don't speak casually, understand?" Lin Changqing said with a smile, "I know, Grandpa. Don't worry, I'll listen with my ears today." Grandpa nodded and said nothing more. After about an hour, the grandfather and grandson finished a pot of green jade tea, and then set off together to the clan leader's retreat. Lin Changqing had been here several times, but I didn't expect that there would be so many people here today. When the grandfather and grandson arrived, there were already quite a few people sitting inside. There was the great-grandfather who managed the family's external affairs, the second grandfather who was in charge of the sutra library, the third grandfather who was in charge of this hall, and the fifth grandfather, the sixth grandfather, and so on. Anyway, as soon as Lin Changqing arrived here, he kept paying respects to these elders. There was no other way. Here he was truly a grandson. In fact, he had already regretted it. He would not have come if he had known earlier. If there was anything, he could just tell Grandpa after he returned. There was no need to attend such a high-level meeting himself. No wonder he had to tell him not to speak casually in the courtyard of Grandpa's house just now. It turned out that Grandpa had known that many of his elders would be present today. Lin Changqing stayed beside Grandpa obediently. When the clan leader saw that everyone was present, he started directly. There was nothing to be polite about. He directly told everyone about what happened yesterday and the results achieved. However, he did not mention the matter of Lin Changqing and the purple crystal scorpion. Instead, he changed some of the words and said that some treasures at the bottom of the box were used. But when everyone knew that this time, all the foundation building cultivators of the Li family were caught in one fell swoop, the scene was still boiling. It was really too exaggerated. Fortunately, everyone was a wise man, and no one asked the clan leader what treasure he had used. The clan leader took some time to let everyone digest this information, and then he said, "Now let's talk about the first question. The two foundation building monks who ambushed and attacked Mount. They were killed on the spot yesterday. The bodies are in 11 storage bag. After the meeting, let Xiao deal with it." When everyone heard that the bodies of the two foundation building monks were brought back, they whispered to each other. At this time, the grandfather also said, "Fifth brother, the bodies of the two are here. I will give them to you after the meeting. You can deal with them." Grandpa Wu nodded and said lightly, "Don't bother, just feed you the bloodthirsty thorn vines. Don't waste it." Seeing him like this, everyone came to comfort him, which made him really laugh and cry. His son Lin Changqing was not dead, so he had nothing to be sad about. He was just recuperating now, and would go on a secret mission only after he recovered. He really couldn't be sad, so he could only maintain this indifferent attitude. This made his peers think that he was discouraged and had no interest in life, and he had no way to explain, so he could only do this. Fortunately, the clan leader rescued him and continued to say, "In this mission, we captured 2 people alive, and from their mouths, we confirmed that the ones who attacked us were the Zhao and Li families. Another thing is that although the foundation building cultivators of the Li family have been exhausted, the Zhao family still has 3 foundation building cultivators. Therefore, we still need to let the clan members be more careful and guard, and don't go out if you have nothing to do recently." The elders present all nodded in agreement. Seeing that the clan leader specifically raised this question, Lin Changqing's heart moved. It seemed that his sister Lin Changqing would be disappointed. Chapter 275 Harvesting 2 Third Level Spiritual Materials. The clan leader continued, "The third question is, this time we have obtained the ironclad evidence that the Zhao and Li families attacked us. Everyone can tell us how we should deal with this evidence." Third grandpa pondered for a moment and said, "How about we hand it over directly to Qingyuan sect and let them give us justice?" Second grandpa said with a smile, "What third brother said is also a way, but don't forget, although they were the ones who attacked first, causing Mount to be seriously injured and killed. However, we have captured all of their foundation building monks. So I guess the most likely way for Qingyuan sect to deal with it is to give each of them 50 lashes, which is not good for anyone. Therefore, handing this evidence over to Qingyuan sect is the worst way to deal with it." After listening to second grandpa's analysis, everyone couldn't help but nod in agreement. At this time, the great-grandfather looked around and said, "What the second brother said is very good, very insightful, and it is a sharp point. I estimate that the news that we have caught all the high-level cultivators of the Li family in one fell swoop may not be known for long. By then, those families outside who don't know the specific situation may have many speculations or even worries. So I think this evidence can't be wasted. Let's just find a suitable time to invite the other 10 foundation building families in Qingyuan Prefecture. Then show them the evidence on the spot, and let those families know that our Lin family is not acting recklessly. It's just that we have been pushed to the doorstep by the Zhao and Li families, so we have to fight back. This is the only way to make the family not so passive." As soon as the great-grandfather made this suggestion, everyone supported it, and everyone thought that this suggestion was very appropriate. In this way, one problem after another was solved. Anyway, when Lin Changqing and his grandson came out from the patriarch, it was already 2 hours later. Anyway, Lin Changqing has decided in his heart that there is no need in the future, and he will no longer participate in such family meetings. It's really boring. I'd better read more books or practice more when I have this time in the future. After separating from Grandpa, he flew directly to Aoyan Peak. I don't know what he did on the first and second days of the new year. He didn't come to greet him. I guess they went there to play. As soon as they returned to the family square yesterday, Lin Changqing let them go back to Aoyan Peak by themselves. However, nothing will happen within the scope of Jiufeng Mountain, so Lin Changqing is not worried about them. They will come back naturally after playing enough. First, I came to the place where the purple crystal scorpion often stays and release the more than 100 first-level purple crystal scorpions. Here they can get sun, which is good for their growth. I also got some broken monster meat for them, and then left 2 portions of ice crystals and 2 portions of ginger crystals for them to chew slowly. After watching for a while, I found that there was no problem, so I returned to the spiritual field. I went out to perform the task yesterday. So yesterday and today's birth-inducing tasks accumulated together. Lin Changqing was busy for 2 or 3 hours before completing the task. After returning to the pavilion, I made myself a pot of green jade tea. I wanted to take out the spiritual medicine atlas to continue studying. Suddenly I remembered that I had harvested 30 or 40 jade boxes yesterday. They were still in the storage bag and had not been opened. Now that I have time, I will open them all and see how my luck is. Most of these jade boxes are probably from Li Yaozong and Li Yaoshan. I believe they should not be too bad. After taking out all the jade boxes and counting them, there are a total of 38. Lin Changqing spent some time opening them one by one. Except for 13 jade boxes that are empty, the other 25 still have a lot of things. Among them, there are the most spiritual medicines. The more precious ones are the main medicines for the foundation building pill, 2 golden silk lotuses, 3 purple monkey flowers, but there is no most important foundation building fruit. It is estimated that the Li family is sure that there is none, otherwise they would have tried every means to refine them into foundation building pills. Although the 5 main medicines found this time all have rhizomes, they should have been picked for a while and can no longer be planted. This made Lin Changqing a little undecided, and finally decided to put it away for a while. There are still 15 second-level spiritual medicines, all of which can be used in the foundation building period, but most of them can no longer be planted. Only 1 or 2 roots are still relatively active and should be able to be planted. When the time comes, send them to the inner space for Zhao Linyu to deal with, and give her the 9 mountains thick earth sutra by the way. After sorting all the spiritual medicines into the storage bag, there are only 5 things left on the table, 2 different types of 3rd level earth attribute spiritual materials, a small jade bottle, a jade slip, and 3 spiritual seeds. After thinking about it, I took the jade slip first, put it on my forehead, and began to read the contents. Unexpectedly, when I saw the 5 words Kingmu Changsheng Sutra at the first glance, Lin Changqing's heart was shaken violently. He hurriedly kept reading until the end, and then confirmed that the technique was complete. It can be cultivated to the realm of great perfection of the golden elixir, and it also includes the refining methods of 18 kinds of life magic weapons. This made Lin Changqing excited. You know, the family also has the Kingmu Changsheng Sutra, and it is the core practice, but it can only be cultivated to the great perfection of the Purple Mansion period. Compared with what he has now, it is much worse. Of course, the most important thing is that the Golden Elixir period practice of grandfather and aunt will be settled in the future, which makes him inexplicably happy. He has already thought about it, making a copy for himself, and then giving this jade slip to grandfather and letting him deal with it. The first thing he chose was so rewarding, so he was full of expectations for the next thing. Picking up the small jade bottle and opening it, there were 3 white pills inside. Lin Changqing felt a little familiar and couldn't help pouring one out. After carefully identifying it, he didn't expect it to be a second-grade top-grade Sanhozhu iron pill. His own was a top-grade Sanhozhu iron pill, which was a little different from this one. And a little third-grade spiritual honey was added to it, and the smell was a little different. But after all, it was the same kind of pill, no wonder Lin Changqing felt familiar. But 1 pill of this kind of medicine is enough for a person to take in his lifetime, and more is useless. However, I can give 1 to my second uncle, or give 1 to my second aunt when she has 1 in the future. As for Grandpa, forget it. Even if I give it to him, Grandpa probably won't use it. He put the anti-aging pill back into the bottle, and found a sealing talisman from the storage bag to stick it on, so that it can be preserved for a longer time. Then he picked up another spirit seed to check. In fact, Lin Changqing also felt a little familiar with this thing. He held it in his hand and observed it for a long time before finally confirming that it was a spirit seed of a spirit vine plant. He felt familiar, probably because he had come into contact with the spirit seed of the bloodthirsty thorn vine. The difference is that the spirit seed in his hand is green and smaller, while the spirit seed of the bloodthirsty thorn vine has some blood color on it and is larger. But these 3 vined spirit seeds should not be ordinary spirit objects, otherwise, they would not be placed in the jade box. So he decided to take a spirit seed and plant it in the inner space to see what kind of spirit vine it is and whether there will be any extra gains. Put the 3 spirit seeds back into the jade box, and put them aside like the jade bottle. Finally, there are 2 third-level earth attribute spirit materials. To be honest, Lin Changqing really doesn't know much about spirit materials for refining. Although he has a 4th-level refining inheritance in his hand, which also contains the introduction of each level of spirit materials, He has never taken the time to take a good look, so that he can't tell what these two spirit materials are, which is why he put them at the end. In the end, he just wanted to honestly take out the 4th level refining inheritance and find the 3rd level earth attribute spirit material part. Comparing them one by one, it took a lot of time to finally confirm the names of the 2 3rd level spirit materials. The first one is a black stone as big as a head, named Stone, and its characteristics are hardness and heaviness. The other smaller, palm-sized silver stone is called silver core stone, and its characteristics are lightness and good monoconductivity, and it has a certain mana storage capacity. This is most likely the spiritual material that Li Yaoshan or Li Yaozong prepared for themselves. After all, they are already in the late stage of foundation building and still have some possibility of impacting the Purple Mansion. Therefore, it is not surprising that they prepared these 3rd level spiritual materials for themselves in advance. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone, see you in the next video.